Kyle Gordon's on a generational run, it feels like. Every year he's got the song of the summer. Hello, welcome to the broadcast here on July 27th, 2026. Damn, July kind of freaking ripped by, bro. Where the hell did July go? We lost it all to Pokemon. What is this? Can you see this spinning thing? Can you see this? What is it? Why is it spinning? How do I stop it? I'll turn it off. That's the Discord. It's a cog like you. First of all, mean. Second of all, how am I a cog? Explain yourself. Yo! Chogan69. Thank you for the 5-year, almost 5 years. What's good? Slavsky Art. I found you through your Hitman content on YouTube. I'm 1,000 hours in and I'm still intimidated by your challenges. When's the next one? Slavsky, we have a Hitman horse, a classic Hitman horse coming out, I think tonight. I think tonight will be the release of a new Hitman horse video. It's been edited. But in terms of like the $1,000 challenges, that's probably not going to happen. I think we tapped it out, bro. I think we tapped it out. We're going to do other fun Hitman stuff, but like the big money contract, it's like I don't want it to feel like I'm forcing it. I can up the prize pool, but I think we've seen the strats. I mean, we've seen the biggest maps and we've seen so I just don't know what else we would do. But we'll definitely find it. There's always a million things to do with Hitman. We'll find a different direction. I got timed out and Doug is checking to hang out here. No. Go somewhere else. Time out. I trust Doug, bro. You must have done something wrong. Hey, Maxano. I found out 3 minutes ago I got accepted for electrical engineering at my dream university in Denmark. So in about 5 years, I have to pay dividends to you when I get a job. 5 years feels like you should pay a little sooner, right? 5 years? I feel like you should start payments now. They can be smaller, but like they'll ramp up as it. I would hate for you to like get 5 years in and realize, oh, wow, I owe a lot on my dividends. You know what I'm saying? It's better to pay ahead. Like an income-based plan. Exactly. I think that would be the smartest thing to do. Yeah, you're not even paying for college in Denmark, bro. You should pay me what you would pay like a university in America, and you just get the free college in Denmark. I'm in debt to the Atrioc dividend fund because I got loans for it instead of a school. Yeah, well, that's worth it. That's worth it. I'm like an advisor. How the hell are you? When did I last stream? I skipped a day, right? I was off Sunday. Did I stream Saturday? Oh, yeah, I did. But it was just, it's been so Pokemon lately. How is everybody doing? How's it going on? What's we didn't even talk about LeBron to Philly. We didn't talk about, honestly, I feel like I don't even know how I'm going to tackle all the news. There's like 15 stories I want to talk about. Obviously, there's the Iran war escalations. Obviously, there's the AI that hacked its way out of an offline system for OpenAI. There's the NVIDIA $250 billion round tripping. There's the U.S. missile supply at unsustainable lows. There's new Avatar news. That sounds low stakes. What's that? There's Avatar news. When you say Avatar, do you mean the James Cameron franchise that somehow makes $1 billion every 3 years, but nobody seems to remember it? Or do you mean Avatar: The Last Airbender? What are your thoughts on the one with a washed IP? That could be either one. Oh, yeah, there's also ASU has an influencer degree. First of all, you're joking, but they should get me as guest lecturer. If it's an ASU influencer degree, they better get my ass, they better haul my ass down there. It's Ludwig and me, bro. That's it. And Ludwig's fucking lesson is just the call from me. Okay? Oh, it stands. You're right. It stands. That's the big three. It's true. It stands. Although, well, we'll see. I don't know if Stance wants to stream that much longer. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what he wants. Ayudo, thank you for the 33. The Russian oh, dude. Oh my God. I have to do. All right. Still July. So I'm still technically on break. But I promise. I'm promising myself more than you guys. If I promise you guys, I won't do it. If I promise myself. I promise myself. I genuinely am passionate about this. The updates in Russia, Ukraine are crazy. Let's go for the 3rd. It's 1 week from today. Let's do the 3rd. I'll just do a presentation on Ukraine. I would love to talk about it. I already started making slides for fun, which I never do. I mean, it's not fun. It's bad news, but it's interesting. I think what's happening right now, dude, the updates on what's going on with Iran and Ukraine, this is becoming soft World War III. I'm not being hyperbolic, okay? The world is splitting into 2 blocks. Iran and Ukraine are fighting at the same time as Ukraine and Russia are fighting. At the same time as Russia is helping Iran, Russia is fighting Ukraine. Russia is tied up with China. China's tied up with with Iran. There's 2 soft power wars or whatever, proxy wars that are becoming one war that have 2 gigantic blocks behind them. It's crazy. I know that I sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but legitimately, if you study any history, it's so similar. We are so similar to the early stages of like World War I. It seems so similar, bro. It's like a rising power, global power, 2 small proxy wars. It's weird. It's weirdly similar. The U.S. isn't helping Ukraine. The U.S. is helping Ukraine now. It's back to helping Ukraine. They started winning, and so the U.S. jumped on the bandwagon, bro. Anyway, that's one of many things I have, but I'll do a full press on that because I think it's legitimately kind of the big story right now, but I don't feel confident enough to just do it off rip. Where does streamers place in this World War III? That's such a great question. I do feel like every country's most valuable asset is its streamers. So they're probably going to build a bunker around us. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they can't lose XQC or US loses the war. Or can't. He's not even in America. The cabal behind it all. Yeah. We watch the 3rd Pokemon movie later. I don't know if there's a Pokemon movie tonight, but I will watch one before the tournament. I'll have to find a time. Hey, Atrioc, I've been watching your YouTube videos for a few years now, and a question regarding constitutional amendments. I know your ideal one would be to somehow take money out of politics, but I'm interested in one where every sponsor of a bill would have to read the entire bill in the presence of a quorum before it can get voted on. Do you think it would slow down the already slow lawmaking process too much, or would the benefits outweigh the slowdown? I think if you had a magic genie that could do one change to the Constitution and you did that, I would shoot you. What a fucking waste. What, a bunch of old ass people sit there and fall asleep while someone reads? Changes nothing? No, I would be so pissed, bro. Please, something else. It would be, do you know in Germany, they were worried that people might get abused in like bad contract negotiations. So they made a law that like basically every important contract, you have to sit down in a room and a lawyer has to read the whole thing out loud in front of both parties, and then they agree to it. And it turns out it was an incredibly stupid rule. All it does is slow everything down. People still don't listen. It's just, they're infinitely long. They bury it in noise. It is incredibly dumb. So you have to find a better way. I mean, maybe you can mandate short contracts or something, but the actual idea of just read it out loud does nothing. Your mind would glaze over. It's called a noter and nobody likes it. I know, dude. I interviewed a guy who does startups in Germany, and he was like, bro, it's one of the dumbest rules our country has. He's like, dude, we went into a deal, right? We were trying to get our startup like some funding. So we have to all sit in this room. It takes our whole day. And then later, we were like, oh, we want to make a small tweak to the contract. So we had to do it again. They had to go back. And every time they have to pay the fucking guy the full thing to sit there and read it to him. It's insane. It's a huge backfire. Like, it sounds good in theory, but in practice, it's dumb as shit. Like many things. Like many things. Dude, honestly, I told you about this, but the American legal system also fucked up in many ways. With how many contracts lock you into what's called forced arbitration. Do you guys know what that is? It basically means you can't go to court. Like you're probably right now, the cell phone contract you signed, you don't even know you signed this, but it's got a clause in there that says you can never sue them. You can only go to forced arbitration, which is where you and the cell phone company hire an independent arbitrator to decide your case one-on-one. And it turns out when they're the big cell phone company that pays the arbitrator millions a year, and they work with them all the time, he's incentivized to always side with them. So they're not very independent. It's fucked. Hey, Grotmelion, Melion. Long-time YouTube viewer. Why'd you get automated? You got automated because you're trying to sell GPUs or what? I got invited to OpenAI Dev Day based on some project. I'm going to the US first time ever. Any tips? Hoping to sell for 100 million or 2 NVIDIA GPUs. I love that, bro. You got invited to OpenAI Dev Day. You're going to the US. You want tips. First tip, the US is a lawless land. So you need to show up with an AK-47 minimum. I would stay strapped. I think before you land, like when you're on the plane, you should have a gun. Often multiple guns, and maybe like an ammo bandolier. If you get a cowboy hat, it'll help you fit in too. The second you get off the plane, this is a normal thing. It's called the American Welcome Pop. Take out one of your guns, probably a small caliber, shoot it into the air so everybody knows you mean business. Like, yeah, just right off the rip. Because if you don't do that, they're going to know you're a foreigner right off the bat. Maybe say yeehaw. After that, you're probably good. After that, you're probably okay. Honestly, if I'm being for real, if you want a little just sincere compliment, if you're in an OpenAI Dev Day and you fucking try hard a little bit, you could probably parlay yourself to some real wealth in the next year before it all fucking comes to crashing down. Your time's clicking, though. Bro, the clock is ticking on this shit. Every day, it becomes more obvious. NVIDIA is fucking shoveling coal into this bubble. That's a terrible metaphor. They're like pumping. It's circular, and they just keep trying to keep the circle going. Clean coal, clean coal. Are you going to stream with Jackie some VGC practice? Jackie's so busy. Jackie is so busy. I haven't even got to talk to him since we finished the Elite Four. I'm hoping to get some time with Jackie. But I have no idea. I can't promise nothing. But I am going to tell you that he's a fucking father with a job, bro. He's busy. He's got a real life. What am I doing? I'm fucking streaming. When's Gay coming back? Team Gay, which if you don't know, is Grubby, Hera, Atrioc, and Yamato. Unk Gamers is going to be back. Not this week. I'm all kind of busy. I got Pokemon stuff. And new stuff. Grubby's got something. Grubby's doing League Classic tournament. But next week, we're going hard, is what we said. So, yeah, we'll do something. We should find more Unk games, though. I don't even want to play Warcraft 3 or Age of Empires anymore. That's their life games. We should play Unk games. When are you playing League Classic? Should I play it? Chat, be honest. Does it come out before the end of July? I kind of want to hit some news ground running after July. But I could play a little in July. In the valley of this. What up, Vale? Good to see you. Rasso 53. What's good? Yo, good, Big A. What's all? Oh, sorry. Yo, Big A. Hope all is well. Thanks, bro. Thanks for making content. Good Unk games. Play all the COD campaigns, please. Oh, you mean the COD-a-thon? Oh, you mean the COD-a-thon? Yeah, it's on the table. The COD-a-thon you're talking about? I've heard whispers of the COD-a-thon. Are you going to play Plants vs. Zombies? Yeah, it's probably the next game I'll play, to be honest. Squeaks challenged me to play Plants vs. Zombies original and said I have to gift subs every time I die. But the problem is for the content is that I will never lose at Plants vs. Zombies original because it is a solved game. You just make sunflowers. I swear to God. It's just not. Nobody who played that game in 2012 or whatever on their phone understood macro. Nobody understood that the economy is busted. He hasn't played Zombotany 2. What are you fucking talking about? No, of course I haven't played Zombotany 2. Don't say that like it's supposed to be known. That's he doesn't even know Glup Shitto's second cousin. Is what you sound like. Oh yeah, I guess I'm not a knower. Mass Effect playthrough? Bro, sometimes you guys just be suggesting shit. Sometimes you be suggesting shit that you yourself wouldn't watch. Do you know what I'm saying? Not even that it wouldn't be like a good stream idea, that you personally, if it was a stream of one, you would leave. You would say Mass Effect playthrough, and then I'd be fucking scooting around in the fucking Land Rover, and you'd be like, I'm out of here. Like, you think about it, bro. Think about it before you fucking come through the door first. I would be interested. Squeaks wanted to play something. What should I play with Squeaks, bro? Obviously, I love gaming with Squeaks. Hey, would you guys be at all adverse to me watching the new Fuslie video today? She made a video about her fucking Pokemon journey, and I thought it'd be fun to watch. Because I'm sure it's going to kind of mirror my own. I think I'll watch it, bro. In the valley of the soul. Seriously? More Pokemon bullshit? Bro. Who lives like this, bro? Who lives like this? My God. Bro, if I sat here and told you the Iran war is bad, you'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. This is the real shit. But if I fucking do a little Pokemon in my break month, Jesus fucking Christ. Kaya's new. I lost your message. God, my steak's too buttery. My chat's moving too fast, bro. How can I even read it? Pokemon is just fantasy sports for geeks. Sports bros up there with tech bros. Fantasy sports is already for geeks. Nobody loves fantasy sports more than geeks. The geekiest people I know are obsessed with fantasy sports. What are you talking about? It's like moth to a flame, bro. W moths and flames. This is a good chatter. This chatter doesn't even know what I'm talking about or what's going on, but they like to say W and then some words from the last sentence. W moths and flames, bro. Keep it up. This streamer knows what I'm talking about. That's a chatter. Blue SR. Yo, what's good? I went and saw the Odyssey, but I still don't get how it connects to Super Mario. Care to explain for a beginner media consumer? Yeah, it's quite simple, really. You see, Bowser was the original Trojan horse of revolutionary ideas into the Mushroom Kingdom. Do you know what I'm saying? He was sort of the entry vehicle for ideas that caused the Koopas to rise up against their toad and one human oppressors. Okay? Often it gets reframed. And then the journey, I've lost it from there, but you get the general idea. You get the general idea. The oppressor's human. Oh, it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird that if you walk around the Mushroom Kingdom, it's a million mushrooms, and then one human woman lives in absolute luxury above them all. Do you know what I'm saying? Isn't that kind of odd? Doesn't that kind of throw you for a loop? It's because she worked harder. True. You hate to see a strong, thriving ruin. Yeah, if she was a man, it would be fine. That's right. That's the point of what I'm saying. The point of what I'm saying is if it was a man, this would all make sense. It would be fine. But isn't it weird that it's a woman? Maybe this is too serious for the beginning of the stream, but have you seen the Gen Z protests in India? I've seen it, bro. I've seen it. The cockroach protests. Yeah, I can cook something up on that. I do think it's interesting. I mean, I've read, 2-3 articles on it. It's interesting. It's fascinating. But I don't have too much more to say. My headcanon is the mushrooms have a super short life cycle, and she's immortal, so she gets to be the princess by default. Fine. I don't care. I'm sorry. Do you think I seriously wanted to know what the... Sure, fine. That's great. Yeah, peace. Can everybody post... You know what? No, that's good. Let's keep going. Can everybody post your own fanfic on why you think the Mushroom Kingdom is designed the way it is? And then I'll rate them all. That could be a good stream. Feet hierarchy. You'd think she'd hire some security given how often she gets kidnapped? That's also an interesting question. Do you think it's possible that Princess Peach gets bored in that castle? And because she knows Mario will eventually save her, she kind of likes the thrill. She kind of like leaves the castle unlocked, basically. It's like a game to her, just to keep life exciting. Deep state psyop on the mushroom people. Do you think if there's constantly a crisis that requires saving the princess, the toads never look too closely at the finances of the castle? They never notice that all of their tax dollars are funneled into this massive castle for one person. It kind of, it's like the ballroom, dude. Like if there's a crisis event, like a Bowser invasion, it kind of like gives you justification to spend all the money on the castle ramparts and improvements. It's kind of interesting how that doesn't seem necessary. Are we getting a League Classic stream on Wednesday? I'm 50-50, bro. Chat is universally against it, but they're often wrong. It could be kind of hype. It could be kind of fun. But realistically, in my mind, it's like I'm going to boot it up and I'm going to just be like instantly back to 2010 and I'm going to be a god of the game. But realistically, I'm going to boot it up. I'm going to be just as ass as I am at League now. I'm not even going to remember shit. And then it's, I don't know, I'm just going to fucking play a couple games. I also heard there's no fizz. So I don't even have anything to work with. In the valley of the soul. Honest question, you found the Aura Ring to be worth it at all? Oh, wait. Thanks, Crane, for setting up my ad read. I'll give you the cut. Oh, the Aura Ring available now? No, honestly, no. The answer's no. Yeah, so here's the ad. Honestly, it's not worth it. This shit's expensive, and it has a monthly fee, and I don't use it that often. And often I let the battery die. It's just not worth it. I would not recommend an Aura ring. But however, here's what I'll say. It does make a great wedding ring. Like I keep fucking misplacing my actual ring. And so this is my new ring. I wear this. It's thicker. It fits. It's just better. Squeak spit? No, it's not a squeak spit. What do you even do with that? Get your ring refitted? I need to refit my ring. I have too thin fingers. You guys are wrong. I have thin, spindly piano fingers. And my actual ring is just a tiny bit loose. And so I play with it, and then it falls. It's not good. So, anyway, any hootie in the blowfish. What if the battery expands like that one instant and it gets stuck? This happened to someone? The ring expanded? That's crazy. I mean, if I'm being honest, the one thing it's good for occasionally is it does track sleep pretty well. And it's nice to wake up and try to get a good sleep score. But outside of that, I mean, I don't do the health stuff with it. And you have to charge it pretty regularly, which is like a pain in the ass for a ring. So I don't know. It's fine, but it's not. I honestly would not give it a plus thumbs up. What's interesting, what's interessante, is that I have been pretty consistently, actually 100% consistently, working out. Chad, I've been working out, bro. I'm not showing any progress yet, but I do feel some kind of type of way. Like today, 1 hour ago, no, 2 hours ago, I was in the gym, fucking drenched, dude. I've been actually working out. Like I get done and I'm like a pool, I'm a puddle. I'm sweating. And it's like, I just realized that I was never pushing myself in the gym nearly enough. And now I am. So if I stick to this, I could probably see some results, which is good. I'm glad I'm stick to it. And it's been, I don't know, I haven't missed a session since I started doing it. So, a pool of glizzy water. Yes, great. Yeah, exactly. A pool of glizzy water. Well said. Well said. Funny joke. A broth, if you will. No, that was good. Did you think of that yourself? That's crazy. How'd you come up with that on the fly? If you train with intensity after a couple months, results will show well. That's my hope and prayer. I feel like if I eat decent and I train this hard and I do it and I don't skip, and I want to skip every time. Every time, dude, I want to skip. I was waking up this morning and I was like, what if I just delay it? What if I like just move it to a different day? What if I was like, oh, I'm busy. And I was like, no skips. We haven't made a skip yet. I'm not going to skip. And every time I do that, I just keep going. So I'm going 4 a week. What do you want to skip? You always want to skip before, right? Because you know it's going to be hard. It's going to kick your ass. You feel a little tired. You just always your mind tries to make excuses. Once I get there, I'm fine. I don't feel bad. I'm not like trying to, I don't know. It's just the idea of like, you have to get in the car. You have to drive in LA traffic. You have to go to the gym. It's going to be hard. But whatever. I'm going to fucking commit. Disagree and commit. You talk about your future Pokemon plans? No, we can talk about that. Okay, so I'll talk about it during the Fuslie video. We're gonna watch the Fuslie video here in, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. We'll watch the Fuslie video. I think it'll be perfect for me to talk about what I'm thinking about with Pokemon, which I'm surprised. I'll just say I'm surprisingly into. I didn't really know how dope modern Pokemon is, and I didn't know how many people are passionate about it and how cool. I just didn't know. I was totally like, for example, my friend Jarvis has been grinding the shit out of it. And I was talking with him and it's just fun thing to nerd out about with a friend. I don't know. Jarvis Johnson. Yeah. Jarvis Johnson got Master Ball ranking in like a month, bro. He's crazy. He's fucking cracked. What does that mean? It's just like the highest thing. It's like and he's like, there's locals, like the way Magic the Gathering has locals. And also, I've been getting a little fucking tired of Magic, honestly. So what if I went to a Pokemon local? The only thing is, I'm going to go with Jarvis, so I'll feel fine. But if it's all, like, people that are too young, I'm not going to. My assumption is it's all fucking grinder gaming adults. Like, probably 20s, but if it's like kids, I'm not going to do it. My assumption is that's who it is. It's more like Smash and Magic, I bet, then. Watch Wolfie's videos? I have, although I gotta be honest with you. Some of them are too long. Some of them are too long, bro. Wolfie makes Oppenheimers, bro. He makes Oppenheimers. TikTok brain. TikTok brain as an insult has been completely subverted by this chat. It's someone in chat who watches like YouTube summaries of movies, but if I don't want to watch 4 hours on their autistic interest, they go, wow, TikTok brain much? You haven't read a book in 8 years. And then when I don't want to watch 17 hours of Minecraft lore, you go, oh my God, this fucking Zoomer, no attention span. Shut up, bro. I know you've twisted it. Bionicle lore, meanwhile. Well, that's just peak. The love you seek in the valley of the soul. Mama, mama, mama. Dude, this Onion article is perfect. This is what you need to worry about, bro. Man binge watches entire movie in one sitting. Yeah. Brave. What a hero, bro. With no phone, not even a second screen? How can you raw dog a movie like that? How can you sit there and raw dog a movie? No breaks, no phone? That's insane, bro. Lock him up. The first thing I do nowadays when watching a movie is play chess. That is how the director wanted it to be experienced. Okay? All the great directors prefer if you watch their movies, ideally on an on a airplane seat screen while you're kind of half asleep and playing chess. That way it's like it's really entering your mind space the way it's supposed to be. Or on a fucking Peloton. Yeah, that's how Training Day is meant to be experienced, Northern Lion. Cut into parts, watch on a Peloton over 2 days. That's how Denzel's performance was meant to be experienced. Big A, when's the next horse race? What do you mean horse race? You mean human horse? Well, I don't know. We just did one. The video's coming out tonight, though. Yo, low-key, I watched Queen's Gambit while playing chess, pretending I was getting better. I'm not going to make fun of you for that. It's kind of beast. Dude, we all need little anime arcs in our lives, bro. It's cool to feel like you're getting better at something. It's cool to feel like you're locking in. A little LARP never hurt anybody, bro. Yeah, I remember. This is what I remember. I remember when the movie The Social Network came out. Maybe I've told this, but I watched it with some friends. I was in college at the time. And after I left the theater, we were all in the car driving home, and they were just like laughing and talking about bullshit. And I was looking out the window thinking, I need to lock in. These fucking guys are they're wasting time goofing. And I need to be out there building, bro. These guys are holding me back. Did you lock in? Freshman year, I locked in. Not really because of that video. But then League of Legends hit me like a truck in sophomore year. So I should have made a video warning about that. Will you be seated opening night for Social Reckoning? Yeah, probably. I'll go see it with Aiden. That'd be fun. I think seeing Social Reckoning with Aiden would be fun because of the meme about him loving the movie. Probably do like a double date or whatever. Bring everyone else along. I had the same experience with Zootopia 2. You saw Zootopia 2 and felt like you had to lock in? You feel like your friends were holding you back? Why? What about Zootopia 2? Zootopia gave that away. Or your friends weren't furries and you had an awakening. The Bobcats were tough. Well, let's not do any spoilers here. Let's not do any spoilers here on a great movie, Zootopia 2. I need to blow my nose. I need to blow my fucking nose, dude. Guy who's mad at Zootopia spoilers. Zootopia is a fun, family-friendly adventure for all ages with a compelling plot twist. A Zootopia spoiler is sacrosanct. You should not be spoiling it. I already love Zootopia, so I had to watch both of them. And I liked them. I didn't even... Although I will say this. Maybe Zootopia fans hate me for this. I think Zootopia 1 clears 2, and I don't think it's close. I think 2's fun. But I think 1 clears it. Hey, what do you like Zootopia 1 or Zootopia 1 or 2? That you have to choose. Which one's your favorite of the two? Like if you had to pick one to take on a plane. Hey! She said 1. She was like so stressed about it. I said, which Zootopia would you pick? And she said, why do I have to choose? And I said, you have to choose. And she said, I can't pick one. I can't pick one. I like them both. And I was like, you have to choose. Did you pick one? That's the trick. You just yell at your wife until she has the answer that agrees with you. Atrioc isn't Chinese enough to appreciate Zootopia 2. Believe me, I'm Chinese enough, okay? It's like picking a child to save. Picking a favorite Zootopia movie is not like picking a child to save. That's not a normal comparison. No. It's a normal question. Have you seen Looney Tunes Back in Action? Is that the one with Brendan Fraser from like 10, 15 years ago? If so, yes, and I loved it. Yeah, it's Beast. It's not Brendan Fraser's best movie, though. I don't know what weed you're smoking, and I'd love some. Fuck, watch The Mummy, bro. Wait, can I be honest? Can I get a fucking quick show of hands here? Just a quick show of hands from the audience. How many of you, and be honest with me, have seen the 1999 film with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, The Mummy? Or haven't seen it, I guess. The Tom Cruise one? No, not the fucking Tom Cruise one. No, not the Tom Cruise one. The 1999, the Bi Panic movie. It is a lot of people's Bi Awakening, if that's what you're wondering. I think, just look at this. Look at this. Look at this. 1999 Mummy. I think it's one of the best. I don't know how do you call this movie? Adventure movie of all time. I think it's one of the GOAT adventure movies of all time. And I think the lead actor and lead actress probably peak attractiveness of any two leads in any movie ever. It's just peak hotness, bro. It's crazy. No matter which way you swing, you're gonna find something for you. Okay? And it's just an incredible, it's also just a good movie. It's got highs, lows, adventure, action, funny quips. I think it's really good. I think if you haven't seen it, you got yourself a free night of fun ahead of yourself. But the sequels are terrible, so just pretend it doesn't exist. To the center of the earth is good as well. He's just owning that category. He had a generational run, bro. He had a generational run in like these family adventure type movies. And then I think he got assaulted, right? Didn't Brendan Fraser get like assaulted by a Hollywood producer or some shit? And he also hurt his back. He got blacklisted. He got he got a really raw deal for such a good actor. Sad. But I think he's on a comeback tour, so. Do you ever rent a 3D movie? No, I didn't know you could do that. Ideas for new games in the title? Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna watch this Fuslie video. Here's what I was thinking. Let's talk about Pokemon for a second. I have to talk about it because I enjoyed this Nuzlocke thing 100 times more than I thought I would. It was really fun. And then I'm kind of already enjoying the community around. Like I'm enjoying talking with other Pokemon people, and I'm enjoying watching some of the videos. It was really fun. So I don't really want to be like, well, that's it, I'm done. But I also don't want to be like a fucking Pokemon channel. I'm not built to do only Pokemon content. And also I actually genuinely am starting to get excited about doing news coverage again. I'm getting the itch. Like the break has actually been really good. I'm actually fucking excited about it instead of like dreading making slides, which is good. So I've decided that I'm pivoting full-time into Logan Paul style scalping content. Sorry, I'm laughing at something else. This is dead serious. I'm pivoting full-time into becoming a Pokemon card scalper. I'm going to travel the country. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's the unique thing about me is I'm going to open card packs. You're going to pay me to get a piece of a pack. Then I open it live, so I get the video, I get the attention. And then if it's not like good stuff in there, I'm going to say, well, you know what? Do you really want me to send you this stuff? And you're like, it's no big deal. And then I'm going to reseal it and do it again. I'm going to get like a pack resealer. And I'm just going to sell the packs again. I'm going to just run that shit back so that my profit is really high and I have zero risk. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking of doing. So yeah, it's all about the passion for me, really. I think it's because of the passion for Pokemon. No, I genuinely like the game. I genuinely think I could have a lot of fun with it. And I've honestly been inspired a little bit what I've heard about Fuslie's arc, where she got more into it and found it to be really rewarding. So what I'm thinking is, number one, I have a sincere interest in trying to go to a Pokemon regional or local or whatever, a tournament with Jarvis Johnson. He'll be way better than me, but we're going to try and go. That'll be fun. Maybe I stream from there or whatever. That sounds really good. Number two, I have a sincere interest in trying a different Nuzlocke. Like a harder one. I don't think I'm run and bun level, but I think a harder one would be really fun. And the one I was considering, I asked Pichal. Pichal said the best one for me, based on my past experience with Pokemon, is Renegade Platinum. He said Renegade Platinum would be a great next arc for me. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know if I'll do it right now. Probably be a little break, but that's the next thing I would like to do is a Pokemon Nuzlocke Renegade Platinum. Sounds like a lot of fun. And then after that, I don't know. I will tell you, despite me going all in on Pokemon, I am warning you that I think I might have a disappointing result in this tournament. Like I said, I just don't think, based on what I've heard, I think I just didn't understand how to do teams, but that's fine. That's fine. Do you know the full type chart? I'm pretty close. I kind of intuit it. I kind of feel it out. So all in all, I feel pretty good about it. So let's watch this Fuslie video and get a sense. And then after that, we could do a whole number of things today. I don't think I have a hard stop. So let's see. All right, so Fuslie made a video, clearly inspired probably by the Ludwig fucking class, right? Based on the title. Fuslie made a video called How I Accidentally Became a Pro Pokemon Player. And I started it. I thought this would be really fun to watch with chat, so I stopped. So, because the beginning of it
brand new
already reminds me of how I'm feeling about Pokemon. Let's start.
So about 7 months ago, I entered my very first competitive Pokemon regional in Las Vegas as a complete beginner. And 6 months later, I have now competed in 5 regionals and 1 international. And that brings me to the end of my, I guess, first competitive season because no, I did not qualify for Worlds. But I figured now would be a better time than ever to sit down, recap my experience as a beginner competing in VGC, what it was like. I figured anybody who has been following along with my journey, who might want to compete in a regional, people who might have been competing but don't know how to deal with losses, which I've been really experienced with. I guess just anyone.
What if I just don't lose though? You guys, here's the thing. No disrespect to Fuslie here, but like, I could be the GOAT. Like, we don't know yet if I'm just like an absolute natural. Like I've been sort of untested. I could just like show, like, theoretically, if a couple things break my way, I could just beat Wolfie and GG.
Who is interested in this journey so far. While this video will be primarily focused on my experience at NAIC, I wanted to recap kind of the entire Pokemon journey thus far because this one is going to close out.
Guy in his 30s shows up, signs up for the kids division. I will be arrested, bro.
My first season of competitive Pokemon. I've talked about this in a prior video.
Plus, you know what? Even ignoring the fucking weird age gap stuff. Because like I remember Smash tournaments there's no age bracket. And I remember specifically, it's actually way more embarrassing to get matched up against a kid and then get washed. I remember Stans got like an 8-year-old first round in a Smash Melee tournament, and I was there to cheer him on. So it was Stans and me behind him cheering, and then this kid and his dad behind him cheering. And it's like, it just feels awkward. It just feels awkward, bro, because the kid might be dicing you, and it just, who won? In that particular memory, actually Stans won, though the game was closer than it should have been. And it's just weird because Stans is like really stressing, and he wins, but like it's hard to pop off against the kid. It's hard to be like, yeah. And then his dad's right there. It's like either way you feel bad. You don't feel good either way. Hungry Boxer do it? Hungry Boxer do a lot of things that I might not do.
But if you didn't know, I got into this because of Point Crow and Peachal. They make fun Pokemon content, a lot of Nuzlocking content, variety stuff, but really, really cool content. And they invited me to a Nuzlocke Invitational,
the
Nuzlocke Invitational. Essentially, I had to race 7 other YouTubers and content creators to beat a randomized version of Fire Red. And then the twist on this was that the team that you beat the Elite Four with, you have to bring to fight versus all the other competitors' teams that they beat their respective Elite Fours with. I mean, it was a wild ride. It was insane. Like,
what do you think the power level is of last year's teams versus this year's teams? I didn't really watch last year's. I watched the finals like while doing this just to get an idea of how it plays, but I haven't. Do you think like Like, what if I were to challenge Lud with his last year's team versus my this year's team? What do you think? Last year's team more stacked? You would sweep? You shit on Lud? Well, I mean, just as a player, yeah, of course. He's dumb as bricks, bro. Don't let Professor L, the psyop, fool you, bro. He's dumb as bricks, bro. I'll fucking cook him. But I don't know about the quality of the teams. Like, what if I wanted to play Fuslie? I just don't know, like, is it even close? That'd be fun to try, I guess. You need to get used to timer. Dude, everyone's telling me I need to get used to the timer. Bro, I play RTS games, all right? I'm not worried about a damn fucking 30-second timer. I'll be fine. I'll flash forward this clip. I'm just setting up for the clip where I fucking misclick. I'm just setting up for the fucking foreshadow, bro.
All these moves I was seeing for the first time as a complete beginner. I never knew what Surging Strikes was. I didn't know what Intrepid Sword was. I didn't know what this...
Oh, Surging Strikes? Water type. Hits 3 times, crits every time. Base power? I have no idea. But the first power was pretty good. The first power was pretty good. I don't know the base power, but I fucking still... Ball knower, bro. Ball knower.
That ability, I didn't know what Tailwind did. I didn't know what Fake Out did. I didn't know...
Oh, Tailwind doubles your team's speed for 5 turns. 6 to 7 turns.
What anything was. Okay, so like I just didn't know anything. I was sold though. There was a beauty in that. Like just everything was like boom, 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 brand new. Okay. I ended up getting 3rd place in this invitational. But the bigger feeling that I had when I left it was, why is it over? I was so hooked on
Big A mansplaining. Shake my head. Dude, me at the Pokemon Regional mansplaining Pokemon moves to somebody who knows a lot more than me, and I'm getting most of them wrong. No, you don't understand. Tailwind is 6 to 7 turns, so I don't think that's correct. That'll be.
Nuzlocke. I was hooked on Pokemon. I had never experienced Pokemon like that in any way. It was my first Nuzlocke. It was my first experience with...
This was like viral on Twitter or Reddit. I'm not trying to make a big deal, but there was that guy, that weird guy who lost chess to Nemo. I don't know her name that well. And he got super weird about it. He's like, you wasted my fucking time. Nemsco, yeah. That shit was weird. So I'm going to do that, but with every opponent, regardless of gender, by the way. W. Atrioc for being equal opportunity. Regardless of gender, I'm going to be like, you wasted my fucking time. What is this? You're not even, what? You should have been more honest. Okay? An equal opportunity hater.
Like really studying VGC. I think maybe I had dabbled in it or watched a little bit prior, but like it did not stick with me. So that was my first time that I was like, whoa, I love this. We kind of solidified that when I played in a Cobblemon server hosted by my friend Abe, and there was a Pokemon tournament in it. I ended up doing really poorly in that tournament. I just didn't understand the UI in the game.
What the fuck
Misclicked,
is
attacked my own
Cobblemon?
Pokemon, killed myself, ended up crying. And my friend Toast, he came up to me and he comforted me and he said, hey, you should meet my friend James. He's my coach. And that's how I met James Bake. From there, I remember I saw Toast sign up for a Pokemon regional.
Toast has a Pokemon coach? Is Toast hella into Pokemon? Minecraft Pokemon? Guys, when I said what the fuck is Cobblemon, I mean, I meant it, but like I figured it out in 1 second. Like it doesn't seem like it's a fucking mystery, bro. It says Cobblemon. I'm looking at the screen. It's Minecraft and Pokemon. I put it together. Believe me, I solved that puzzle. You got everybody in chat fucking answering the question as fast as they can. I got it, bro. I got it. It was more of like a exploratory statement. Think before you speak then. Let's check your chat history, bro. Hit me with a think before you speak. Let's fucking take a fucking chat history fucking look. Let's go down memory lane here, bro. Think before you fucking speak, bro. Oh my God, wait a minute. It's not that this guy doesn't have dumb chat messages. It's that this is like a Age of Empires viewer hardcore. So most of what he does is spam about Age of Empires. I mean, you said what? You said, get off my dick, don't come to Nagasaki tomorrow 2 years ago. What does that mean? What does that mean, bro? What the fuck does that mean? You spam Puss in Boots a bunch? I guess you're not fine. I mean, I'm just kind of. You said W67 a million times, but that's probably just smart. All right, no big deal. All right, keep going with this.
He posted like his sign up, and I was like, there's actual events for this. And then like 2, like you don't have to like just like be great at the game, you can just sign up. And so because of that, I talked to some friends, but mainly Abe decided to sign up with me, and we said, hey, do you want to do this thing together? So we decided to sign up, and ironically Toast didn't even make it to the regional, so it was just me and Abe who competed in our very first regional. We went to Las Vegas. I didn't know what to expect. I was stressed out of my mind. I dropped
out,
after the 5th match. I was so
Pokemon
exhausted, but I remember going, hey, losing was a blast. Like there was no expectations for me to do well, right? So
no, I don't know Pokemon regionals, but I know for Magic or for Smash, dude, in 2014 to 2017 peak Smash Bros era, post Doc era, I wish I could recapture some of that. It was so fun. You just go to locals, you get your ass beat, everyone has a good time. It's just a good time. Like there's not really a lot of stress. People think it's like a fucking serious ass tournament. It's not. The Foundry locals in San Francisco, people would just have a drink, play some Smash, have a good time. Somebody washes you, then they give you some advice. It was great. Magic was rarely fun at locals. People smell in our sweats. That's true. Magic's a little different. And also, I assume Pokemon's probably more gender welcoming. I feel like maybe Magic's getting better, but when I first went to like a Magic tournament with Ari, because Ari plays Magic just as much as me. She's great at it. She would always get some weird shit. Like there's definitely some people that are weird because she's a woman. You stream Pokemon? I didn't know you stream games. Bro, I have gamed more before I started streaming than you will in your life. Okay? Allow me a chance for some periods of my life to not game so much.
that was awesome, right? On top of that, I had the GOAT Wolf make my team for me. He literally asked me to send me a list of all my favorite Pokemon, and he made sure like every Pokemon that was on my team was in like the S or the A tier for me, and my favorite Pokemon Azumarill was on the team. I think this is karma, but like I literally ended up dropping Azumarill like a day before the tournament for Volcarona, because I was afraid that Azumarill was bad. And then I ended up just like facing like a lot of stuff that was good against Volk.
Has anyone ever made the joke Volcoronavirus? Or am I the first one to do that? Because I think that just popped into my head. It could be. First for you? I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. Imagine.
And bad against Azumarill, and I was like, dude, should never have dropped Azumarill. I still think about that. Anyway, so Wolf helped me make my first team that I competed with. He coached me through it. I didn't do so well. I didn't put in too much practice, but I still had a great time. And after that, I was really freaking hooked. I'm not gonna lie. Me and Abe looked at each other and we're like, do you want to just go to all the regionals that we can go to and just also use this as an excuse to see new cities? I make content.
This is the streamer thing. I feel like the reason I got hooked on Age of Empires is because there's like a nice bonus of you want to learn a game and then the best player in the world shows up and helps you out. Like, would I really have grinded Age of Empires if I didn't have Hera fucking hard coaching me through the beginning, like the hardest phase? It's like definitely a bonus. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Fuslie gets Wolfie. That's got to help. It's got to help get you feel confident. I need Braun, bro. Give me Braun and we should talk about Braun after this video, just because I think it's a little interesting.
And out of this room almost every single day of my life. And if I'm not making content from this, I'm sitting here, and it's really easy for me not to leave my really nice air-conditioned apartment in Los Angeles. You know, there's just friction to go do things in life. There's friction to get on a plane. There's friction to get in a car. There's friction to sign up for something when the countdown hits 0. There's friction to do everything in life. I have let that fear of friction kind of just make it so I don't do anything. And so there was something that was like lit inside of me, a fire for competing and for learning something new and for traveling again. And so from there, me and Abe, we went on to sign up for our next regional, and that one was in Seattle. I think Seattle was maybe the most magical one. I think it was because, well, one, I went 4-4 at the regional. 2, Abe, he signed up for TCG by accident and learned the game in one night and then
Wait, that's really good, honestly. I mean, I'm only going off what I know from Melee. I don't know anything about Pokemon. Maybe 4-4 is not that. I don't know. But based on what I know from Melee, like, you go to a Melee tournament, you go 0-2 for like your first year, bro. I feel like, unless you're hella good, you like to become a 2-2er, which means you like won as many as you lost, was like a big deal. It's like a fucking, yeah, 2-2 in Melee, you're pretty good. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you get it. This guy in chat gets it. Like, if you go to a Melee tournament, a Melee local, and you go 2-2, that means you're a fucking solid player. That's good. So I assume it's similar, where it's like 4-4. That's pretty solid.
Competed. And don't tell him, but I think that was one of like the coolest things he could have done. I would never have done that. I would have dropped and just spectated, right? But he actually freaking signed up and played the dang game that he never, like, I don't know how many of y'all think like I would do that, right? Like, it's just like the energy that it takes to just be like, I don't know how to play the game yet. I'm going to compete in a regional tomorrow and cram it that night for it. I don't know. It was awesome. So that was a highlight for me, watching him play the TCG, and also loving the team that I had. It was Iron Crown and Indeedee and Urshifu and Tornadus, and I just really liked.
I don't know anything about this. Can someone tell me how this works? How do they deal with legendaries in like a official tournament like this? Can you just have a team of all legendaries? I don't really fucking get it. Like, is there a limit? Limited pool. There's restricted legendaries you only get 1 or 2 of. There are different tiers, so you have to sign up for a different tier or what? There's a ban list. Okay, it's like Magic kind of. Okay, there's a ban list. So what is like some of the legendaries OP and some of them aren't? I know that like Mewtwo's godlike, right? So they just fucking.
The format and the power level of everything there. It was pretty high, but like I was understanding it, and I was really liking just like the plays that I had. I actually really liked Terra. I did well in Seattle, and I got to see the beautiful city of Seattle with my friends, and I don't know, there was something just like magical about Seattle. I really, really loved it. I met a lot of wonderful people.
POV, the 5 minutes in Seattle, it's not raining. This is spliced footage, bro. I've been to Seattle a million times. It's always fucking raining. This is a psyop. This is a hoax.
Friends there, and I think it really solidified that Pokemon regionals this is like my thing. And around this time, I started getting made fun of by a lot of my friends for like being the Pokemon, like she's always off doing her Pokemon thing, and I was trying to defend it, but they're like, God, you're such a nerd, like you're just going to all these Pokemon events. And they say it out of love, of course, I think, but I definitely was like, yeah, I am, and I was trying to convince my friends to do it with me. And side note, a lot of my friends have been just going to in-person events recently, right? Trading card game events, like for Riftbound, for Magic, for Pokemon, for trading cards. Like it's awesome. I think a lot of my friends who have been online for a long time are getting into the IRL space and like competing in person for things. Cool. And I think there is a magic to it. I've never done it much.
I don't even think it's just this. I think everyone's doing that now. Doesn't it feel like that? Everyone that can. I just feel like everyone's trying to find something to do outside of the house in some way. I've seen like a lot of like Magic Commander things popping up, like drinks in Commander or whatever. I think people are trying to touch grass a bit more because the world is just getting so fucking yeah, there's like disc golf, like a lot of like just something to do in person. I think it's like there's no third spaces, really. It's like you have to choose something to do. People are finding ways to make community through activities. Bowling, disc golf. Yeah, people are getting disc golf. Rock climbing, obviously. IRL, MTG here, 3x in price. Yeah, but I was talking to a guy at the gym that's super into Magic, way more into it than I am, to be honest. And he was like, yeah, bro, my friend just bought a nice printer and some real card stock. And for $15, we can print whatever card we want. So we just made proxies of every great card and we play it for nothing. And I was like, W, dude, that's fucking sick. That's awesome. Fuck Wizards. Just play the game. Oh, it's fucking beast.
Except when I was a kid, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! But I was literally like 12, maybe younger, where I would do in-person tournaments. But
I do that, but with USD. Okay. That's cool too. That's cool too, bro. Everyone's got their own. It's a hobby, you know? It's fun.
I don't think anything beats the feeling of like competing face to face in a room of people who are competing face to face with other people. So that has been absolutely magical. And I think it really was solidified in Seattle. Then the next one was in Houston, Texas. I felt really good about my Seattle team. So I was like, I'm keeping it. I'm just going to run the same thing in Houston. The mistake I made was, I think, releasing my Seattle vlog the morning of my Houston competition. And I think I underestimated the amount of people who were tuning
like
into my Pokemon
events.
vlogs. Almost every single person I played that day was like, oh, I love your
Just
videos.
bigger, I guess.
Thank you so much. But I love your videos. I just watched it this morning. And they're like, Iron Crown, right? And I was like, oh my God. My opponent already knows my team. They also know the way I think. They saw the whole thing. And even if they didn't, I was thinking that they knew. And something about Pokemon that I realize is that it is incredibly mental. There is so much to like having a clear mind, but also feeling like you have.
Okay, if I show up to one of these things, I'm not being nice and handshaking my opponent. I'll tell you that right now. I'm wearing sunglasses like a poker tournament. I'm staring them straight down. And if they reach their hand for a handshake, I fucking flip the table if I lose. Okay? In chess, you have to or you lose. I will I'll get like a glove on the end of a stick to avoid touching. Oh, you're a fan? A real fan would let me win. Can you imagine? The saddest, most desperate thing of all time. You know, some fucking 20-year-old in an Enron hat, and I'm like, let me win, bro. Let me win. Some Elon shit, bro. That's funny.
Have the advantage in some way, or creating that mental space where you think you know what they're going to do, or playing a certain way to make them think that you play a certain way just to swap it up, right? There's so much in just like behavior that like, you know, like you could play really aggressive and then like play really passive or mix it up and go the other way. There's just a lot that's mental about Pokemon. And so anything
here's what I'll say is I'm not going to pretend to know shit about it. I really haven't played anything yet. I haven't played like one real match, to be honest. But I did watch, I watched some crazy fucking video. I wish I could find it. It wasn't from like a big channel. But the top comment was Wolfie being like, this video rips. I don't remember what it was. It was like competitive Pokemon is crazy, and it explains like how it's kind of like chess, kind of like RPS, kind of like it's impossible to explain. Like, that's it, actually. Competitive Pokemon is impossible to explain. Is this the video? Yeah, this video.
Competitive Pokemon is a game that, if you've only ever played the single player campaign,
it was like, dude, I don't know why
you'll see
I
against
never would have thought you flashing back 3 weeks. I watched a 45-minute about Pokemon.
the elect our opponent.
But I did, and I really liked it. Anyway, it talks about how there's layers and layers and layers of it. And it's actually a fucking pretty good competitive game. Like, the Pokemon in my mind is way more like luck-based, and it's like whatever. But there's just so much thought to it. It's kind of cool. It's It's just cool. It's like ogres, yeah.
Feel like lowers your competitive edge in a mental sense.
Yeah, there's still luck, of course, but it reminds me a lot of like poker, but like better. I think it's better than poker, like in terms of the amount of skill you can have, which is cool. It's like Pokemon, yeah.
One being like thinking that the opponent has a competitive edge on you because maybe they saw your vlog that morning. It's not great. And on top of that, I got pulled for a side match or side stream on the first game and the main broadcast on the second game. I was just overwhelmed. It was so much. Like by the time I finished the game on the broadcast, I felt like I had competed for 8 rounds. Like it was so much. Just like, hi, yeah, excuse me, sure, perfect. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like also on top of that, I had a team sheet error on stage. I held up the broadcast for like 20 minutes because I submitted my team sheet wrong. And I'm just like,
yikes!
Great. This is so embarrassing. Aaron Cybertron Zhang is casting this game. I'm a freaking fan of his, and now he thinks I'm a chud. And I was like stressed, and I'm like, great, just great. Anyway,
he seems like a real asshole. He's probably calling you. He's probably putting the mic down. Like, who is this chud? Who's this chud holding up the Pokemon broadcast? My God. Yeah, that probably sounds that feels right. All the Pokemon players are assholes. Yeah, they're all just. It's like it's like the boys. They're like Wolfie and they're all just huge assholes behind the scenes. Wolfie's like Homelander.
Get through it. I don't do well. And I think Houston was the first time I was like really freaking bummed, right? Also, in Houston, I went by myself because Abe got sick like the night before. And I almost dropped and I was like, do I just not go? But I ended up going. I had my editor Lucky with me to keep me company. But for the most part, I was alone and I didn't have anyone competing by my side. But one really big highlight was Wolf. He adopted me into his group for dinner. And he's like, hey, if you're alone, you need some company, come get dinner with my friends and I. And it was so nice. I don't think he knows how welcome I felt. Like I was like gonna wander around and do nothing, but he invited me to get dinner. It was so nice to talk to just a bunch of people who are super welcoming. They were all way more knowledgeable about Pokemon than I was, but it was really cool. We played games about like describe a Pokemon as badly as.
If I get invited to that dinner, the first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna do the Goodwill Hunting scene where I try to act like I know more Pokemon. I'm gonna pick the biggest, baddest Pokemon guy there, Wolfie, and I'm gonna try and quote Pokemon stats at him to establish dominance. Do you even know the base special defense of Finnavel? Oh, Mewtwo, huh? Yeah, you would like Mewtwo. Next, you're gonna be coming in here talking about a volcano. I can't even do it because I don't know enough Pokemon off the top of my head. You're talking about Palkia, bro. Next, you'll be talking about fucking Palkia and make a fairy type team, bro. Yeah, I've been around that. Okay, challenged us to a duel at the dinner table. How do you like them grab apples?
We could, and then everyone would try to guess it, and I was like, this is the nerdiest thing ever. But it was awesome. Got to meet Aaron Cybertron Zhang there for real. I was like, nice to meet you. You casted my game. I'm so sorry about the team sheet error. Anyway, so Houston was it came and it went, and I still had a great time. I got featured on the broadcast for the first time. I met so many people that I look up to in the scene. That was my third regional. The fourth one I went to was in my hometown of Los Angeles, and LA was honestly probably the most stressful one and my least favorite one. It was on Regulation I, which is my least favorite format that I've competed in. It was too high powered for my liking. I also got the least amount of practice for it. I performed really poorly, in my opinion. I think I went 2-6 again. Yeah, because it was in LA, like there was nothing too special. I didn't travel too much or see too much. I didn't have a terrible time, but I remember just being pretty overwhelmed. And for the first time at a regional, I was really discouraged.
Whoa. Me Young has tournament experience? She just watched. Okay. Or did she? Guards! Guards! P-Chow, investigate, please. Can we get a DQ?
Really tilted. I was also underperforming compared to everybody I went with. I know that it shouldn't be about the score, right? And about how you do in comparison to your friends. But I think there's something when you are at a competition and you are underperforming and everyone else is like, oh yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm 2-0, I'm 3-0, I'm, whatever. And you're like 0-3. I think you can't help but just like feel really upset. Even if you got unfair matchups, even if you got unlucky, whatever it was, or even if you're just bad, right? And I think it was a mix of that for me. You can't help but just focus on the score. And I remember just being like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not having fun anymore.
It sounds funny, but I can relate. All my experiences are like through Smash, because I did take Smash really seriously for a few years, even while I was employed at Twitch, and should have been like, it shouldn't have mattered. But I definitely remember you go to tournaments and you practiced and you think you're ready, and then you get a bad matchup or something goes wrong, and then you're trying to have fun with everyone afterwards, but you feel like shit. You feel like shit. You feel like a loser. You feel it sucks ass. You suck. But like eventually you bounce back pretty quickly, but it does suck. You just like especially right after the loss.
More because I'm not winning. I tried to drop out, but when I went to drop out, all of my friends that were with me were like, if you're dropping out, we're all dropping out. And I was like, the hell? And I got pissed. I was like, why would you do that? Like, I don't, I want you guys to keep playing. But they're like, no. So that made me more mad. And I was like, fine, I'm staying. So we stayed.
Dude, I was the 1 seed at my Arcadian like a decade ago, and I got third and cried for hours after Lamau. Dude, I love adding a long Lamau to a very serious scar tissue on your heart. That's some Aiden shit, bro. No, I never got into it that seriously that I would get to the point of crying, but I know that Aiden did. Aiden took it real seriously. Aiden was grinding, yelling at the screen, practicing Slippy every day. And then I think he lost something, and he like teared up, felt bad.
We played it out. I think I ended 2-6. So my scoreline thus far was 1-4, 4-4, 2-6, 2-6. Indianapolis comes around. It's the first regional on Pokemon Champions. I'm talking to some friends and they're all saying you have to go for the first event on a new game. So I go to Indianapolis, and Indy was a great time. Indy was really.
Is it like I assume it's like Magic, where the closer it is to the release of a new set, the more fun it is, because the meta hasn't been figured out yet. So there's a lot of like variety. And then you go near the end and it's like pretty fucking locked. I don't even play Magic after the release anymore. A new set comes out, I'll do the pre-release, one draft, and then I skip to the next one. Because it's just like, it's so much more fun when things are fresh.
Fun. I got to go 4-4. I was happy with my scoreline again. I felt really good about the team. I got coaching. Huge shout out to Joe UX9 who helped me make the team. Overall, just had a really good time. Yeah, I went to karaoke in Indy. I got to hang out with a lot of new friends. I guess it was just a good time. We had late night talks, had good food. I was feeling really good off of Indy. And I have this thing where after I do well in a tournament, I want to keep the team. Just like from Seattle, I kept it and went into Houston. I was like, I'm gonna run the same team. Tell me you have something. Tell me, Joe, you have something. However, I got into a call with Joe, and Joe is saying, hey, I think that we should make a couple tweaks. He's like, how does a team feel? And I was like, listen, what feels really bad is when the Incineroars come in and intimidate my team, and I have like basically all the fake out cycling that's happening to like, it just feels bad. My physical attackers are like getting owned, and I had a lot of physical attackers. So we made a change. And we put Glamora on the team instead of Cleaver. Glamora's a special attacker. And then we made Talonflame a mixed attacker. So we put Charcoal on it instead of Sharpbeak. And then we gave it Overheat, I think, instead of Flare Blitz.
Okay.
We made some slight tweaks, and we went to NAIC. It is the first international that I would ever compete in. And I think it was kind of like the culmination of all of the practice that I've done, hoping for my best results. I had two of my best friends, Myung and Ray, come with me for this one, which meant the world. They just were down to come and spectate and hang out and support. And I was just like, wait, you guys really want to come to New Orleans? They're like, we're going to come. So they came to New Orleans with me. Cool. It's on Pokemon Champions. I'm coming off a high from Indy. Never been to New Orleans, a city I've always wanted to go to. It would be the 6th tournament, the final one of the season, which was a big thing.
I've never been to New Orleans either, I think.
The biggest event that I had personally ever entered. And I knew the competition was going to be the highest that had ever been. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well at this one.
I remember,
so we
when I was at Twitch, we were supposed to host the second TwitchCon in New Orleans, and then something happened. But I think we had to fly out there for a scouting mission. So I remember we went there, and then the scouting mission was like show up to a convention center for 2 seconds, and then we got drunk. I think that was the only time I've ever been to New Orleans, but it was like a day. It was like in and out.
Went to New Orleans. We flew in, and when we were landing, I genuinely thought that we were landing in a swamp. I looked out the window, and we were basically touching the ground, but it was a swamp, and I was like, bro, what is this airport in a swamp? It wasn't, but it was close to a swamp.
We are in Louisiana. Oh my God, Leslie, look, Pokemon.
I told you.
I'm just trying to take credit for it because the camera's on now.
Look, me on my luggage.
This is what Leslie does waiting at the airport. There's people around. There's children around.
Oh. It made me insecure.
Good.
I'm gonna lose my whimsy.
Good. Be a little bit more self-conscious.
That's what you do to me, chat.
I'm already self-conscious enough. I want to lose
my whimsy. You guys crush my whimsy.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm now feeling the heat. It's hot.
Is that a word, muggy?
I dribble a basketball in China, having a good time, making friends. I come back, all the Americans hate me.
Don't know if that's a real word. I think you made that up.
It feels muggy if I had to describe.
Oh.
We go to the Airbnb. The first night we grabbed dinner with some friends, met up with Joe, my coach, James, my other coach. Dinner, we had amazing bread pudding. We celebrated my editor Lucky's birthday. Yeah, that was the night before the international. We all come back to my Airbnb, and I realized I never submitted my team. Abe is next to me. He's like, we got to submit our teams. I was like, oh my God, we got to submit our teams. So we're panic submitting our teams. And Abe was going at the speed of light. Okay. So I start feeling peer pressure. So I start going at the speed of light. I'm like, okay, this has this attack. This has this attack. Most of my team is the same, right? I'm just changing the.
If you submit your team and it's wrong, do you just auto lose, or how does it work? Like, assuming they don't give me a pass.
Stats, and I kind of forget to change some of the items, and that would come to bite me in the
foreshadowing.
Ass later. So,
What up, babe?
Yo.
How you feeling?
Well, it's 11 p.m. the night before NAIC, and we are now finally looking at our teams.
We're looking at our
and
teams.
submitting our teams into the RK9 thing.
Yeah, listen. It's been bad. I was just telling Abe how it's the last Champions game I played was my regional at Indy because, I mean, I played Showdown. I just haven't played Champions because in my mind, Champions is closed team sheet anyway, so it's not like exactly the best practice, especially when my biggest thing is like team preview. Like, so I haven't touched it, so we're doing all that, and then we just got dinner for Lucky's birthday and just like for their little reunion with everyone.
We had like 4 VGCers here because we were going to practice and talk about VGC. We did not do it.
Can I ask you a question? Like, just in this part, if I show up to a tournament and I submit my team, do I get to see my opponent's full team before I fight them? Can I like think about it and plan about it, or is it like in the moment, like you get what you get?
Fortunately, but it doesn't mean it's cooked, you know, because who knows? We might lock in tomorrow.
Bro, like we got this shit. Like,
I'm about to lock in.
Yeah,
you trade team sheets when you sit down. But how long do you get to study
Wake
it?
up. I get 6 hours of sleep, pretty good for honestly for an international. It is the day of the international.
What up, Bob?
2 minutes?
Is muggy as hell. I was saying that yesterday, and man was telling me it's a made-up word, but we actually looked it up.
So can I take a photo of it and upload it to Claude and say, find me a counter to this team, make no mistakes?
And it means like uncomfortably
Perfect.
damp. It's
Okay.
awful. Like weather-wise, this is awful. This is like my nightmare weather. Mine is like a tsunami.
That's what Wolfie does? That's his trick?
Anyways, this is our first international. More people, more competition. This is people's last shot at Worlds, and Abe is gonna ruin it for him.
I'm like a gym leader.
Oh, they have to get
They have to get past me.
This is me before our first game of Pokemon.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Hi, this is me
before the first game.
We are about to start round
So this is the big event.
Feeling kind of nervous, very nervous. Didn't get to eat very much, maybe like 2 bites of scrambled eggs. I get this thing where I just can't eat on competition day. And so every single time I get really lightheaded. So I'm gonna really try to eat like a little something.
Biggest open tourney of the year.
So my team is Talonflame, Glamora, which is a rock poison type special attacker, Talonflame, which is a mixed attacker this time. I put in Bravebird and Overheat to deal with like Incineroar and Sinisha. What else do I have? Okay, King Gambit, Basket Legion.
Okay.
I made my Basket Legion slower, but it hits really hard.
This is you next year?
I have a King Gambit on my team. What else?
I mean, I do want to go to one of these events 100%. I will not be standing there listing my team out. I'll keep that shit close to the vest, dude.
It has Kowtow Cleave, yep, and he's very cute, and I have, so I hope to see Charizard Y just right off the bat, because I'm kind of prepared for it. Other than that, I feel pretty panicked, unprepared, and terrified, so here we go.
So vibes are up like tremendously. It was great. There was an amazing jazz band there, and they had a huge intro ceremony. The first person I run into is a guy named Wyatt. We exchanged team sheets, and right off the bat, I look and I'm like, this looks familiar. I'm staring at Wolf's team that got second place in Indy. I was like, okay, Dragon Dance T-Tar. There's a Steelix on this team. I recognize the stuff, but I never really thought how to beat it. But
I wanna play Zapdos
somehow
so bad.
we managed to. Okay. Anytime I start off 1-0, I'm like beaming. And it's funny because as I was leaving the game with my winning ticket, Wolf walked straight up to me and he's like, oh, I see you have a ticket. And I was like, I do. And I was so ecstatic. And then I was like, I faced your team, you know?
Congratulations.
I ran into your team.
Wait, you won in 3?
In 3, but
That's amazing.
I'm undefeated at international.
Oh, hey, what's up?
How'd you do?
That was like really funny. I won. You? Oh, light work.
So
Just play my first.
what I'm seeing is when you win a game, you get a winning match slip. So why don't I just don't practice Pokemon, but I practice counterfeiting the match slips, and I show up with 6 winning match slips and I submit them over time, and then eventually I'll just win the tournament, and no one will know. Just steal them from people. You need 14. Pull a Team Rocket and steal them. What if I dress up like Team Rocket and I walk the aisles and snatch match slips up when they get signed? And then I say, I've captured Pikachu. And then I run to the front and submit them. Do you think they'd kick me out? And also, follow-up question, do you think that's a cool thing to do in your 30s?
First game, unfortunately, we lost. I'm not too pressed about it. It was really unlucky. We got to game 3, and he had 1 Pokemon left, and I had 2. I predicted all of his moves, but I missed 2 Hypnosis with on my Coiled Milotic, so that's an 80% chance to hit. So I missed 2 Hypnosis. He connected his attack on my Gliscor, and I also missed a...
This shit is so similar to poker. Listen, I had a brief fling with poker. And one thing I'll tell you, poker, the worst conversation in the world is bad beat poker conversation. It's the worst male conversation you can ever have. Just 2 people talking about how like, oh, they got the fucking king on the river, bro. The damn river. I had a 95%. It's like, no, it just, nobody cares. I'm not. It just reminds me of, I'm getting flashbacks to poker.
Double protect. Still have yet to hit a double protect in this
bro. It
freaking
happens.
game.
Oh my gosh, Valkyrie, I'm such a big fan.
Oh my god, you scared me.
My second opponent, this game was way harder. My opponent was really good. I could just tell. I don't know what it was. He was making all the right plays. I got 2-0'd really fast.
Although I guess nowadays, right, isn't the worst conversation you can have with another dude fucking bad sports bets? Isn't that the fucking invasion? People talking about different fucking parlays and bets they've made and how that shit is a menace. That's the worst. Or stocks, bad Kalshi bets.
It was another Dragon Dance T-Tar. And I was really frustrated because one swap that we had also made to the team was we dropped low kick from King Gambit and we took off Cleaver, which had close combat. So basically I had 2 fighting type coverage moves and we went to 0. I remember asking Joe during one of the sessions and I was like, what about Tyranitar? And he's like, listen, you have other ways to deal with T-Tar, which is true, right? We had like Iron Head and other moves, like a lot of steel coverage maybe, but I didn't have like any 4X moves into T-Tar. So after seeing my second Dragon Dance T-Tar, I was like beating myself up. I was like, why did we take off the fighting move? You know, why? But at the end of the day, right, you don't know what you're gonna face. So you can't be mad at yourself for not being like, for making those decisions, because sometimes they do pay off. In this case, it was like tragic because I was preparing myself more for the Charizard stuff. Spoiler alert, I didn't see a single Charizard. Okay, but whatever. I just get outclassed, defeated, and I'm 1-1.
When it was fast and painless. Oh my god, everyone was running this Dragon Dance T-Tar that doesn't die. I ran into 2 Rotom Washes and 2 T-Tars right off the bat. I have an okay matchup into them, but I did take off Low Kick off my King Gambit, and I took off Cleaver, who had close combat. 2 of my Pokemon that would have been real nice into today, I took off, but that's just a call. Like, you never know. That was a hard match. Anyways, we are 1-1, and it's hard. But it's
My coworker constantly brings up stocks, AI, and immigrants. It's tough. I mean, of those 3, I would try to redirect to stocks conversation. If I had a coworker who's constantly talking about it, I would try to redirect. You was talking about fucking Apple fucking stock today, huh? What's up? You just...
a good time. It's a good time.
I lost game 2. It went to third round again, third game in round 2, and yeah, he didn't miss a single time on me. 30% chance, by the way. Unlucky.
Someone's gonna win that. It's not
Is his name Abe? Is that Abe?
gonna be though.
I'm 0-2 right now.
That's a
Dude,
bad
stop.
beat,
You're
bro.
gonna be fine. I just have to win the next.
No, I'm fine.
That's
I'm
bad
happy
beat
with how
poker.
things are going.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't sound happy.
I don't?
Why are you crying? I'm 0-2. I'm fine.
I'm not crying.
You're literally crying.
I'm literally not tearing up.
No, don't cry.
Abe, did you win a year? No. I will not be like that.
No, I'm not. I'm 1-1.
If I lose, I will do the honorable thing and just say that they cheated. I will not blame luck. I will say that they cheated. I'll call a judge over. Magnus.
Leslie's 1-1.
Well, all of my games went to game 3, so I don't feel bad about it.
Make a new team right now.
I can.
Oh.
I should have brought the team that I made with the Gyarados.
You didn't?
Last night when I was like submitting the team, I was just like, I feel like I got no practice with that. Like, I think
What
the team
would
is fine. I think I
Zapdos
can make it
have?
work, but I feel like I have no practice with it, so it's like a comfort thing. So I was like, I'll just bring the same thing and roll with it. How do you guys feel about this whole thing?
I like it. It's very cool.
Fun environment, right? Seeing like all the people
A
competing.
lot of energy. Competitive energy. I'm already. Does it make you want to compete? Me neither. You're about to compete.
Yeah, you're about to compete.
I don't count that. It's like, for me, that stuff is like, I follow what my coach says.
Dude, she's so cool and nonchalant.
Yeah, so cool.
She's so cool and
How's
nonchalant.
that cool and nonchalant?
I wish I could not give a fuck like that.
Then I have game 3, and would you look at that? Another Dragon Dance Tyranitar. I was like, what? 3
Yikes!
Dragon Dance T-Tars in a row. I'm fighting for my life. I end up actually 2-0ing my opponent. And I was like, whoa, like
get on.
we are out here. And as we're signing the winning slip, my opponent looks at me and they're like, can you explain like the like tech behind Choice Scarf Protect on your Basket Legion? And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, like you're running Choice Scarf Protect. I think that's pretty cool, but like, what's the exact tech behind it? And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I have Mystic Water. And then, you know, they give me my sheet and, well, there it is. Choice Scarf Protect on my Basket Legion. And I was like, wait, I messed up. You know, my heart drops. I was like, I have a freaking team sheet error. Am I getting disqualified? I also then scanned the rest of my team sheet and I
Cheater! She's cheating, and by extension, that means Miyoung is cheating, and by extension, that means Miyoung must be disqualified from the Point Crow Noise Log Invitational. I'm sorry, that's the way it works. That's how it goes. Peach Owl, get on it. It's a lifetime ban. No, that's really sad. Obviously, this sucks. This sucks.
Look, and I see Citrus Berry on my Garchomp when I was running Roselli Berry. So I was like, wait, what does that mean? Am I getting DQ'd from the whole tournament? I mean, it's fully my fault, right? So I raise my hand, we call a judge, and the judge basically looks and says like, so your Garchomp and your Basculegion are essentially illegal, right? So game 1, who won it? And I was like, I did. And then he's like, okay, did you bring your Garchomp or your Basculegion game 1? I was like, no. And then he's like, all right, we'll give you the win. Game 2, did you bring your Garchomp or your Basculegion? I said, yes, I brought Basculegion. He's like, all right, we're going to give you a loss for that because you brought an illegal Pokemon. And now you guys are going to rematch for game 3. And when that happened, I don't know, my mental broke and I was like, I'm going to lose. Fair. Like, I just knew I was going to lose. And, but like, I was trying to fight that thought. I was like, okay, honestly, Leslie, it's fine. Just lock in.
I mean, just being real, like, yeah, you probably should get DQ'd the whole thing because theoretically they would pick differently Pokemon based on the threat of you having Choice Scarf, whatever. So it's like, you know, realistically, but it's obviously just an accident, which sucks.
No, you can win this and then you'll fix your team sheet later. But something in my head was like, Leslie, it's over. It's over. Like, what? You know? And he also told me that I had to swap the Pokemon on my Switch to match the team sheet. So I had to take Mystic Water off, put Choice Scarf on, take off the Roselli Berry, put on the Citrus Berry, and then all the EVs would be.
No Pokemon is illegal on stolen land. Arguing with the judge and trying to find a woke angle. You can't disqualify me for this. No Pokemon is illegal. When you capture them and put them in balls, you think you can fucking put them on a team sheet, but they should be free to have whatever items and moves they want.
Be kind of like awkward because they're trained for like my Mystic Water version of the Basculegion. I decided to just drop Basculegion and Garchomp altogether for the third one, and I'm pretty sure it was very obvious I was going to do that. My opponent beats me. It's actually pretty close, and I felt bad for them because they're like, I feel so bad. And I was like, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. It's like my fault, you know? But like, I know, I just feel bad getting the win this way. I was like, it's okay, you know? So I get up and I'm just tilted. I'm like, dude, this is my second team sheet error that I've done to myself, right? Like nothing feels worse than doing it to yourself. I'm complaining. I'm frustrated. I go to a judge.
I mean, I just know 100% I'm gonna do this. Like, if it's me doing it, I will make. This is 100%. Like I don't even want to go. I'm like 100,000,000% gonna do this, guaranteed. I'll have to get Jarvis to help fucking check, bro. 100%. I'm gonna like get one of my things wrong.
And they tell me like, hey, unfortunately, you need to like live with the consequences and you can keep playing out the tournament, but you need to make your Pokemon match that team sheet. And I was like, so I have to run Protect Choice Scarf? And they're like, yes.
Like now they're checking to make sure my EVs even match. And I was like, maybe they don't. I don't know.
She's in trouble.
And I told the judge, I was like,
when they say, what's the Choice Scarf tag? Say, mind your business. That'd be so funny if she roll with it. Just beat somebody 2-0 with an illegal team when they ask about it. Be like, don't be a sore loser. Move on. None of your fucking business. Hey, loser's bracket is that way. Sign the team sheet. Sign the slip, bro.
Man, it's my fault. And then he looks at me, he goes, it kind of is. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I was really tilted. I was like, I'm going to drop. I always reach this point. Something bad happens and I'm like, I'm dropping. Screw this tournament. So I'm like, all right, where do I go drop? Where do I go turn it in? And then I hear on the speaker, it's like game 4. And I'm like, do I just play this out and then reevaluate after? Yeah, fine.
And table 420. Well, listen, no one's going to expect my Basculegion. They're going to be confused by it. And that's new tech.
Game 4 was a freaking disaster. I was a nervous wreck. I remember just like, I brought the Basculegion, I think, and I was still thinking about my errors the whole time. I misinputted twice, as in like I just didn't click a move because I was so nervous. I end up sending an overheat into...
Wait, what happens when you don't click? What does it do? Is it randomize? What is it? Or does it nothing? Random?
A Calm Mind boosted Floette, like a double Calm Mind boosted Floette, and it like tickles it to the point where my opponent looks at me and says like, are you trolling? they didn't mean it in a bad way. Like, I think we were kind of like open conversation, like during it a little bit. We were more talkative. It wasn't like out of the blue, but it was that bad where my opponent literally was like, why are you throwing the game? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just nervous. I lose the game, obviously. I get up and I'm like, dude, I cannot play this with this Basket Legion and with this, like the Garchomp was understandable. I can't play it with this Basket Legion. I'm not used to it. There was a certain calc that I knew that like my Mystic Water Wave Crash would kill their Incineroar with this new choice scarf thing. It didn't kill. I was at a low in game 4. This is where I was like, I'm dropping. I'm done.
And there's just like so many things I was like, holy, I hate this so much, dude. I have to tell you what's happening.
Game 3, I won. I played so well game 3. I won my last game in my game 3 without using one of my Pokemon. I didn't even use Gliscor in that last game. I played that so perfectly. And then game 4 or round 4, I got wrecked. I got knowledge checked. I was doing stuff that like doesn't work. Apparently Prankster doesn't work on dark types, and I just now am learning that. Got kind of wrecked, but it's okay. We're 1-3. We're gonna play it out and see how we do for the rest of the day.
Leslie just finished her game. Let's see how she did. She looks happy.
The way I play.
Did you win?
No, and all this mattered so much.
I was wrong.
No, it's like so bad. Like I'm gonna drop. It's actually tilting me too hard. I can't do it.
I'm not dropping.
Yeah.
I'm 1-3.
Debating on dropping, but I think we'll just play it out.
Long Basket Legion. Was that his name?
Yeah. Oh, you got it right. Yeah, you got it right.
Oh my gosh, she knows ball.
He knows ball. Tapped in.
Basket Legion.
Naturally, my friends came in for the pep talk. Joe came in, my coach.
like
She's like, this is winnable. This is playable. Like the Basket Legion's not ideal. The EVs aren't ideal, but it still outspeeds this, and this. It's not over. Like it's not terrible. I also thought about you guys, and I thought about just like ending my.
I remember when I was super into League, my dad had like a phase that lasted 3 days where he tried to be supportive. Because most of the time he was really mad at me for playing League. And there was like a 3-day phase where he was trying to lock in and like, maybe this will work. And I remember he was like trying to say some shit about my Pantheon guide. And it was like, like, I was like heartwarmed that he was trying, but it was so cringe that it made me want to kill myself, to be quite honest. It was so cringe. But he's a good guy. He tried his best.
A first season on a drop, despite kind of hitting this low point and having the wrong team sheet again and being that tilted and that stressed, I was like, all right, let's play it out. The 5th game, I start on a loss, but I was able to pick up 2 wins. This is the point in which I usually start to lose focus. I get hungry, but I'm too stressed to eat. So I'm just kind of like dying. I'm like sitting there. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm getting overstimulated, overwhelmed. This part is always the hardest part in a regional or an international. And
can you bring food? Are you allowed to bring food and eat while you play? Does anyone know? Has anyone been to these tournaments? Can I like be eating while playing? Can bring food. Very important to eat during long tourney days. That would be the question you ask. Well, here's what I'm wondering. So what if it's an open team sheet, right? Let's say they have a fucking Charizard. All right. What if I make food that looks like Charizard and then I eat it during the match? What if I'm just ripping into a Charizard cake or something? While I just to fucking throw them off.
this one was no different, but I did get a win, which gave me some like motivation. So I was 2 and I think 3 at this point. And I was like, you know what? I can keep playing. Worst case, I land and I end 2-6, just like my other ones. But I can still keep fighting.
I did win with it. Yeah, did you hear what the fiasco? I did. That's yeah, you gotta keep going.
What's wrong with it?
Win streak, win streak.
Okay, we'll see how it feels out. So I was gonna drop, but I decided not to because I got a win and I feel better.
Drop.
I'm just gonna run the team as is. Wish me luck.
What if this video ends with her winning the whole tournament and beating Wolfie in the grand finals, and he sees the Choice Scarf Basket Legion and he's so stunned? What if he falls to his knees because he gets outsped by a Basket Legion and he goes, holy fuck, this tech is crazy.
So game 6, I went against a Mega Floette, Incineroar, Dragapult, Sneasler, King Gambit, and Melodic, and I could not find a way to kill his Melodic. I just couldn't. I don't know how to do it. I remember talking to him afterwards, and I was like, I couldn't kill your Melodic. And he's just like, yeah, you know, I couldn't beat Melodic, so much so that I eventually decided I had to play it. I just completely got outclassed. I was really, really disappointed with my gameplay this game. I was playing like I was playing on Showdown sometimes, and not like in a good way. I wasn't thinking, what is my opponent potentially thinking here, right? What are my best lines, best outs potentially? I was just like, okay, what's the obvious move? I was tired. I was just like, this looks good and this looks good. And I remember just like even thinking after I lost the first one, I was like, let me just have this be over with. Like, I'm just losing that hard that I kind of want this to be done. I don't mind losing in general sometimes, but when I lose, and it's because I'm just not locked in. I'm like almost not caring. It makes me really sad. Like I would prefer to lose if I was like trying to find lines and I was really like, maybe.
This is why competitive events are fucking fun, bro. You unlock this part of your mind that you never get to use. This thrill, this up and down, even though none of us are going to win the damn tournament. That's for Wolfie. It's just fun. The stress is worth it. I swear to God, you should do it. It's a thrill, bro. The highs and lows are worth it. It's exciting.
This would work, or I was playing to what I feel like is the best of my ability. No, game 6 was just, I felt like I gave up.
Bruh, how am I supposed to kill Melodic? It just doesn't die. And then I tickle it with everything. Honestly, the games were long, felt myself losing steam. Game 1 was super close. And then game 2, I literally just like felt myself like, and you shouldn't have this mindset in competitive. But I thought, if I win this, I have to play this team again. Make it end. 2-4 now. Might keep going. I think sometimes I say I'm going to drop out because it gives me hope that I can drop out. Like, I just let myself drop out on the... It's kind of like I talk about how when I order Taco Bell sometimes, I want to order... Like, let's get this. It feels really vulgar saying it. Oh my God. Anyways, what I was saying is basically you got to edge yourself and you have to let yourself pretend that you're going to drop out. Really believe it.
What are you talking about?
You don't. What?
Game 7 was hard to go into. I ran into a Vanillix, Glamora, Rotom Heat, Garchomp, Whimsicott, Basculegion. This one, similarly, I ran out of time. I remember a lot of...
Wait, what does that have to do with Taco Bell, by the way? What is she talking about? You lost me completely.
Moves. I just didn't click things. I ended up getting...
We didn't skip ahead, bro. We let her cook. She cooked and it burnt.
Owned by a Vanillix, which was hilarious. Like, this thing was just like Blizzard frying my team.
She adds Taco Bell to her cart, then backs out last second. Bro, I just heard about this. Wait, somebody made an app that it's like Uber Eats or DoorDash, but you can't actually buy anything, but you could add it to the cart and click the button. It's like fake ordering, and it's so fucking Zoomers can like get the fucking dopamine of picking the thing they want and ordering it, but not actually spend the money. It's crazy. Fake food delivery dopamine sites on the rise.
And the 0-1.
That's baseball. What is it?
Sites. This app lets people pretend to order food, but then nothing happens. It's called Food Never Comes. And
oh my God. Facebook is the worst fucking platform of all time. You can't watch a damn video on it. But you get the idea. It's fake.
Similarly to game 6, I was just hitting buttons, couldn't lock in. I was 2-5 at this point. And I left the game, and I remember just being like, bruh, this sucks.
Bruh.
Yeah, I got freaking fried. I'm so locked out. I think I'm just tired, hungry. I think TLDR,
how many games do you get? 8?
I don't know what it is. Like, it could be food, it could be sleep deprivation, it could be anything, but it is what it is. Like, I can't bring myself to like lock in. All right, I had a crash out. There's like a little players area. I saw Wolf there. He ran me through some stretches.
How many do you need to go to day 2? You have to go 6-2? Fuck! You gotta really fucking cook. Wait, in Pokemon with a little bit of luck involved? Damn, you gotta go crazy. More than you can win, Lil Pup. All right, bro. Well, maybe I couldn't win 6-2 right now, but with some practice and effort, who knows what's possible.
He said, listen, I have something that helps with stress, and he was explaining to me the science behind it, but he's like, when you're nervous and stressed, your muscles tense up. Stretching. Around 8 pairs are up. Anyways, I stretched. I'm ready. This is the last competitive game I'm going to play in months. So even if I don't win it, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to lock the frickin' and I'm going to come back having tried my absolute best. Huh? I'm against somebody that's 3-4, but I'm 2-5. How does that make sense?
I'm currently 2-5 with 1 match left. I'm going to play it out, but I can't feel too bad because he's 1-6 and he lost to a grandma apparently in this last one.
She was good. She was actually good, dude.
Round 8 pairing came out, and I ended up 2-0ing my opponent, but we had the craziest end game of the second game. Her Corviknight versus my Basket Legion. Her Corviknight hits the roost and gets like to 70-something HP maybe. My Basket Legion attacks. I'm locked into Last Respects because I have the choice band. I'm intimidated because of the Mega Manetric, I believe, so my attack is lowered. I hit the Corviknight with a Last Respects and bring it down to 3%. And I was like, great, game's over. The Corviknight attacks me with Iron Head, I think, and brings me to 3%. Me and my opponent both went, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I hit the Corviknight with the Last Respects, and boom, I won it. 2-0.
We end in Nancy 3-5. Yeah, and I'm done with my Pokemon season. And we're taking a freaking break. And we're going to the casino.
I went 2-6.
Let me know. Let me know.
It was a crazy ending, and I was so happy that I played out the games.
Do you get
obviously
anything?
3-5
Did they give you
wasn't
like a
the
card pack
scoreline
or
I
something?
wanted. It wasn't terrible, especially with the team sheet error and my focus, my mental going down the drain for some of the games. I felt like it was kind of the best I could hope for. That was the end of my competitive season right there. So from Las Vegas, I went 1-4, into Seattle 4-4, into Houston 2-6, into Los Angeles 2-6, into Indy 4-4, and ending my competitive season New Orleans at 3-5. The competition I could feel was harder, and I am beyond proud of myself for competing in so many of these high stress, high competition like environments that normally I never would do. I had so many of you guys come up to me and say like, you're here because of me. I feel so bad when you guys are like, oh yeah, Leslie, I came out to this because of your vlog. And I'm like, how are you doing? And they're like, I'm 1-7. And I'm like, oh no, I sent you out to become fodder. That's what it feels like. Like you guys are literally fodder to these like pro players, you know? And they're like, but you know what? It's okay. I'm still having a fun time. And so it means a lot to me when you guys come out and you have a good time. And I hope it's been positive experiences for those of you who have been inspired to go out to do your first in-person events, whether it's TCGs or VGC or...
No, I want you guys. Like, if someone comes to me an event and they tell me they're 1-7, I feel good. Because that means maybe I'm doing better. I don't want you guys to come and be like, hey, what's up, bro? I got an Enron hat. By the way, I'm going 5-3. Fuck you, bro. Wait, you think you're better than me? No, you need to be 0-8, bro. I want you to be YTA. What was asshole about that? What, just me being incredibly rude to a fan? That's somehow I'm the asshole? Because I don't get it. I don't understand it. Make that make sense, dude. How is that? No, that's NTA, bro.
Even Pokemon related, like if this has inspired you to go to any kind of in-person event, I hope that it's been a positive experience for you as it has for me. So I think the bigger lesson that I learned in all of this is that I'm really, really happy that I didn't drop the times that I really felt like I was going to drop. Like in my soul, I felt like I was going to drop in LA. I realized from all of this that it's really not about my record and my score line. I guess that I realized if I dropped, then my entire season would be kind of, I don't know, it would have just ended on this note that like when things get hard, I just peace out, I leave. Amen. And I would have been really sad, I think, to end.
That's how I've been feeling about the gym, bro. I want to drop every day and I don't do it. And I feel really good about not dropping. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. That's how I feel about stupid ass. What was that first boss in Elden Ring expansion? I hated that, but I didn't drop.
With that kind of as the story and the whole ending. But you know, at the end of the day, like if I did, I wouldn't hate myself. It would be okay, but I persevered, and I'm really, really glad that I did. No judgment to those who drop from tournaments when you don't hit your score or whatever. Everyone has a different reason for coming to these, but I think...
Well, I do think if you're like a pro, right? If you lose 3 games and you can't go to day 2, maybe you just drop because you're like, fuck it. Like it's not, you've been to a million of these. I could see that. That's like a different thing. But if you like travel, you should just play all your games. It'd be fun.
For me, it's really easy for me to just be like, all right, I'm done. I give up. Screw this. And sometimes in my life, I do rage quit. But more often than not, when I choose to stick around, as cheesy as it is, but I get the happy ending, I'm always like, you know what? I'm glad I stayed. And I'll say this, that like the best part of this wasn't even the tournament itself. It was the experiences with my friends and meeting the people. At the end of the day, I come to tournaments because I want to meet people. I want to meet people. I want to make friends. I want to make memories with my current friends. Pokemon is simply the vehicle for it all. And competitive Pokemon is a sport, esport, that I admire the hell out of. I love to see the best players compete.
I
think it is so cool
really
to see people at the top level consistently performing over and over and over again, as much as I want to be like,
this game is all luck. It's rock, paper, scissors. It's stupid.
Like, I've raged, okay? It's obviously not. You see the best players consistently being the best. We watched Wolf place second at Indy and then make top 4 here. We were rooting for him so badly at our Airbnb. It was also really fun. Ray and Myung are like newer to competitive Pokemon, or like they've played a little bit, but like they were getting into it so much. Like Ray was like, I can't watch this. I can't watch this.
Yeah, speed time. It's 50-50. No.
Wait, I watched this. Bro, I watched this exact match. It was on YouTube. It had a bazillion views. Yeah, it's this guy. And they have a fucking speed tie Sneasler at the end. And then Wolfie wins. And I thought in my head, I was like, bro, they rigged that shit for the views.
Wait, which one was it?
I didn't watch this.
And he crit the battle spotted. Like, bro.
Crit and flinch?
They're actual
bullshit.
Restart the match.
Those are memories I feel like I'll just always have. And that's like the best part about it is like, I'm going to forget all the days that I spent like, I don't know, just sitting in my apartment alone or even playing like a certain game for the 100th time. Like I can't really remember it. I'll always remember like my trip to New Orleans.
I remember and cherish every single League of Legends solo queue game I've ever played alone in my dorm room and and in that rented Craigslist room in Los Angeles. To me, it's like more cherished than any memory I ever made with my family and friends. Just thinking about the ADC who fed and then blamed our jungler and the jungler quit and then I couldn't get a gank and then like that to me will stick with me till I'm old. Well, right now.
With some of my best friends. I don't know. We got to explore the city. We went to French Quarter. We had beignets at Cafe Du Monde. We had this awesome sandwich that Tina recommended to us in this little hole in the wall. It was like a corner. We walked in, we get this sandwich. It's super messy. We walk out and it's like sunny, but it's pouring rain. So me and Myung run back in and we buy ponchos for the whole group.
I just wanted to see the vlog. I mean, I just wanted to see the Pokemon part and like hear about the journey. Because I'm thinking about doing this journey myself. So I thought that's pretty interesting. I guess we'll finish.
So we're all just wearing ponchos.
Do I look lame?
No, you're cool as fuck.
Well, let's head to the cafe. I'm ready.
With the rain just pouring down, looking like tourists, just like major tourists just walking around in our different colored ponchos. But I was like, that's fun. I don't know. I had a good time like with trainers. Everyone wearing those ponchos, kind of looking a fool and getting the beignets. And we got this iced coffee and we got to eat the sandwich. And it was really special.
Rated out of 10. Where are you?
Atrioc, content funnel idea. How I accidentally became the best Pokemon player of all time. Okay. I love that you helped me out with that content funnel idea. What you've done so far is you've contributed the title, and I love that. But you're requiring me to contribute the part where I pay off the title by becoming the best Pokemon player of all time. So it's kind of an imbalanced suggestion. You've kind of put a lot of work on my plate. It would be a great video. If I do pay off that title, I promise you that video would bang.
Taking her to heaven. Stay with us.
I'm thinking there's.
What did Peach say? Peach said if you can beat Run and Bun in a year, you can be a coach. I'm not coaching. Fuck that, dude. Let me beat the other one. Let me beat Renegade Platinum or whatever. Will you fucking put me on Run and Bun? What are you talking about, bro? No, I don't have time for that. Peach called himself the greatest Nuzlocker for years. You can just say it. Yeah, you're right. Bro, just give me someone who doesn't know any better. Give me Squeaks. I promise you, I coach Squeaks. He doesn't know shit. I'll just lie to him. Yeah, grass is good against fire. Yeah, whatever, bro. It's something like that. Don't fucking think about it too hard. Click a button, little bro. He can't fact check me.
Mustard, there's soft meat. I'd say the bread might be a little too soft. And 8.7.
Wow.
Tina?
My name's not Tina.
Well, for the rest. I'm not talking.
What the hell? You just called me Tina?
Thanks, Mia, for filming, but thanks, Tina, for the recommendation of the sandwich.
Hey, that's kind of racist.
I'm not mixing them up.
Then we also got to go to the casino with everybody, and I got to meet a lot of players and people from different countries because it was an international. So that was really special.
Yeah? Do you want to look at a place? No. Really? You look cute. You look cute. You
This is like hella recent, huh?
Sweater, but it's really cute.
So at the end of the day, I did not win NAIC. I didn't even.
Small Ant did 10 hours of calcing a day to do it first try. Oh my God. Small Ant did 10 hours of calcing a day to beat Run and Bun. Okay, what if I could figure this out. What if I pull a Ludwig and I hire? Well, the problem is the only person I'd want to hire is Peach Owl. And then he'd know I cheated. Maybe I'll find somebody, bro. I'll find somebody.
Get my best score line at NAIC. If you told me 7 months ago, like that I would have competed in all of these Pokemon tournaments and only dropped out of my first one.
Hiring Claude. Claude beat Run and Bud, no mistakes. I wonder how far Claude would get. That'd be kind of a funny idea. Probably not very far.
Next 5, I would play all 8 rounds, winning or losing. Like I just would been like, no way, because of how tired I was in Las Vegas, how fast I wanted to drop, and I just dropped. I was like, bye. I've loved Pokemon ever since I was a kid, but something beautiful about it is that you can be so into Pokemon as another person, but you two have no overlap in like what you like. One of my best friends, Yvonne, is dearly addicted to collecting Pokemon cards. She got gifted a Pokemon card from Ray, and that just started her addiction. And now she has so many Pokemon cards that I think she's going to be vending at an event, right? So she got into this Pokemon card stuff the same time that I got into VGC. And there's almost like no overlap.
Next year, see her at a fucking Walmart fighting middle-aged men for pallets of cards. She's showing up at the door opening, rushing in, punching a kid in the face, taking...
Between what we do. My goal is to get more of my friends into VGC and hopefully more of you guys into VGC because, man, this side quest has been nothing short of incredible. It's been inspiring to see other creators do their thing, grind.
Is she the one that got Foolish into wanting to do the Point Crow thing? I feel like I heard that.
Find out Pokemon and to inspire anybody. I've had people come up to me and say that they've been inspired by my journey and my perseverance despite losing and not being a great player, but to keep going and competing and showing up. I appreciate those kind words like more than you know. You know, when the next wave of regionals drops, I will start preparing for that, and I will absolutely be bringing you guys around for my second season because I can't stop until I day 2 one of these events. Okay, yeah, I have so much to learn, and I'm still a beginner, but I could not be more grateful for picking competitive Pokemon as kind of the vehicle to learn more.
Yeah, it seems like a cool ass hobby. W Fuslie has a great video. I kind of want to make that a goal. I got to see how hard it is. And I got to be real with myself on my time commitments. But it would be cool to try in day 2 one. That'd be fucking sick. That'd be a really sick goal. Try and set a 4-4 goal. That's probably a good start. That's probably a fucking good start. Anyway, W video. I told you I'm just super in love with it ever since this Nuzlocke. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And then the competitive side seems really fun too. Have you seen this Jackie internet clip? Which one is this?
If raised properly, this Pokemon's uniqueness will bloom excessively. The nickname, the Glizzy, is very shapely in a pleasing manner. Holy.
Wait, what are the chances?
The Glizzy is very shapely.
Oh, it's 2 years ago. That's crazy, though. How'd you find this? You found a 2-year-old clip of Jackie Internet saying the Glizzy? What an insanely deep cut. My goodness. VGC is very different than single player. I know, bro. I know. I did a couple Ranbats. What if I run one right now? What if I want to watch the how money works? What if I ran a Ranbat right now? Random doubles battle. Boom. Boom. One battle right now for all the Marbs. I got a Dragapult and I got an Electrode and I got to fight a Victory Bell and a Cloyster. It's simple, really. I will simply... I'm scared, right? Because of the ice. U-turn. Wait, what if I Phantom Force? Do I disappear? How does that work? I hate when they click the timer. It's like, shut up. Shut up, little bro. Don't click the fucking timer on me. He's going to switch. He's going to switch because of the Electrode. So I will simply Phantom. Shut up. Everyone let me think. I'm a Phantom Force this guy. And I'm gonna Volt Switch this guy. Genius, genius, genius. Oh my fucking God, I'm an idiot. Wait, that did so much damage. Oh, I'm dead. Wait, I'm fucked. Oh, what kills Groudon? Grass, ice, water. I'm trapped? Wait, go. I'm trapped? What do you mean I'm trapped? I can't swim? Wait, what's happening? Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I screwed up. I screwed up, dude. Oh, I screwed up. Protect. Knock off. Ha, idiot. Boom. That did no fucking damage at all. That did no damage at all. Why am I not faster? Is this not a Choice Scarf Victory Bell? Oh, it's Chlorophyll. Oh my God, more like Borophyll, dude. What a piece of dirt. I'm saving you. We can still save this. Switch. And then you will hit a Leaf Blade on Groudon. Bro's never going 6-2. I'm going 6-2, bro. Knock off. Resisted. I still lost an item. Yeah. Yeah. A little damage. Oh my goodness. This thing's too strong. This thing's too strong, bro. What the fuck is happening? We just gotta... Oh, we might have to get this fucking Tailwind out. High key. Oh, I'm just dead. This thing is too strong. Oh, I'm just getting owned. I'm 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 getting owned. Completely rocked. Wait, I can still win this. Imagine that I do win this. People are going to lose their mind. I don't know how. I don't know how I would win this, but I'm sure I could find a way. This looks like not very good. Uh-huh. Let's hit him with an icy wind. We're going to turn this around. Wait. Protect. And then what if I kill this fucking Victory Bell? Actually, what if I kill this goddamn Groudon, bro? Protected. Yes, dude. Holy, his mental's crazy. What a great turn. Wait a minute. Who the fuck is Oranguru? Bug and Dark. I don't flunking know. I'm not even weak to any of this shit. What if I hit you with a fucking Wild Bolt? What if I hit you with an Ice Beam? Oh, I'm stupid. I should have fucking... Whatever. It's fine. It's fine, bro. He trick roomed my ass! Oh, he trick roomed my ass, dude. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Fuck it. Can't I make him slower? Wait, I'm getting my ass beat straight up. Maybe I should switch. But to whomst? No, I think I lost. I mean, unless I just fucking hit a crit or something. That doesn't even do any... Oh, frozen! Freeze is crazy. Paralyzed! Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's not throw any. All right. Terrestrialize poison and start dropping sludge bombs on Oranguru. How about that, huh? No, fuck it. Just Wild Bolt Storm again. And then Ice Beam again. Fuck it. This heat wave is hitting like a truck, bro. High key. He thawed instantly? Insane. Freeze him again, bro. No, I just lose, huh? I just lose. Unless he gets a million paralyses. I don't think I can win this. I don't even hurt this damn thing. Roost. Looking like a wrap? Yeah, it is looking like a wrap. Ones in chat if you think he's going to lose, and people are spamming ones. What world is that fair to me? Is Trick Room almost done? Electrode's got to go crazy here. Electrode has to go nuts. And he will. I believe in him. Explode? He doesn't have it, or I would. Can't go out on a loss? Oh, I might just end up fucking playing Pokemon all day. Did I hit a Thunderbolt yet? Okay, watch this. He's going to get fully paralyzed. It's going to happen. I'm going to Thunderbolt Oranguru. He gets fully paralyzed 5 times in a row. Watch. Thunderbolt. Fully paralyzed. Fuck me. Fuck. Could have been crazy. Could have been crazy. Could have been nuts. Could have been nuts, dude. You can port your team from the Nuzlocke website and play it online. Yeah. Maybe I will. Well, there's a new How Money Works about Peter Thiel. Well, actually, there's one about big tech cut 950,000 jobs and then hired them all back. That seems even better than the Peter Thiel one. Let's watch that.
In May of this year, Meta...
There have been an insane number of layoffs. I don't think they've hired them all back, but let's see.
Announced it would be laying off around 8,000 employees, or around 10% of its entire workforce. Just 2 months before that, it laid off a further 700 people, and 2 months before that, it was another 1,500 people again.
Okay.
In 2025, it laid off a further 4,000 people, including a large chunk from its AI division, and this was all on top of the record layoffs from its year of efficiency, which actually lasted 3 years and cut an additional 26,000.
Meta's year of efficiency is like my year of kindness. It's more of a nominal title, but your actions don't really seem to match up with it. It's a lot of
Now, obviously, this hasn't been great for morale, even after the Zuck mandated that people start having fun again. But if you do the math, that's collectively around 40,000 people that have been laid off over the last 4.5 years, all from a company that only had around 75,000 employees to begin with. For most of the other major tech companies, the numbers aren't really much better, and in specific cases, they are actually much worse. This also isn't including the people who have just, made their few money and quit. Now, obviously, big tech in particular has been changing rapidly. Companies are investing hundreds of billions of dollars into AI development, which means they just have less free cash flow to pay their staff and a greater incentive to justify that very same investment by doing supposedly AI-enabled layoffs.
Yep.
But if this is really happening so broadly, how many jobs do these—
the real story? We should talk about this. But I want to, I guess I gotta get some slides. But the story of what's happening with Google right now, Google is very sus. Google's revenue is up, but if you look into it, like, here's the thing. On a fundamental level, if I told you that when you search a question on Google and they put an AI answer at the top, that it would decrease the number of link clicks, you'd be like, that's obvious. And of course, it's fucking obvious. And yet, Google keeps saying, no. We added the AI answers. It hasn't changed anything. People are clicking links even more. And it's like, that doesn't ring true. And if you dig under the surface, despite that they keep saying the ad revenue's going up, they're just like, they're doing a lot of shady shit to charge people who have Google advertising accounts more than they should be. They're like upping their bills. They're like double charging them. They're doing like a lot of fucking weird shit while they still have the search monopoly. But the actual search links are getting clicked less. And it's like what's carrying their amazing earnings reports.
Companies really have left a cut. Well, the good news, or the inconvenient truth, is basically just as many as they started with. Apart from the outliers like X, most of the major tech companies have just as many people today as they did when layoffs became the hot new trend in the Valley. The same is true for more traditional industries as well that have quietly had to curb their layoff enthusiasm. And this does raise the obvious question of, why bother? These companies have effectively passed the same group of technical talent around between one another, killed the vibes that they so clearly covet, undermined the job security that made tech jobs so desirable in the first place, all to generate headlines that didn't really look as good as they thought they would. So, what was all of this?
Well, they can pay them less.
This week alone, about a dozen major companies announced job cuts, including Amazon and Google's parent Alphabet.
Meta announced Thursday that it's laying off about 8,000 workers as it continues to ramp up spending on artificial intelligence.
In a dramatic twist, OpenAI's Sam Altman has revealed that Meta is dangling jaw-dropping $100 million signing bonuses to lure his top engineers.
76% of NVIDIA employees are millionaires, and 37% are worth over $20 million. How crazy is that?
Ford has rehired 350 experienced engineers after admitting that artificial intelligence alone did not deliver the quality it expected in vehicle development.
Okay, so even if you set aside the very real human cost of doing all of this and just look at it through the cold, dead eyes of corporate strategy, these layoffs have still been doing real damage to the companies making them.
Oh, yeah.
The most immediate damage is just to workplace morale.
The vibes at Meta are horrendous. Horrendous. We had people reach out. We had a couple Meta employees reach out. It's like bottom of the barrel tier. Everybody is like secretly trying to find jobs elsewhere. They're all just doing what they can to avoid a layoff. Nobody's like long-term bought into the strategy.
It might sound a little bit wishy-washy, but in roles that rely on talent and highly collaborative environments like tech development,
He's probably happy.
It can be a big deal. Workplace researchers have observed what they have dubbed turnover contagion. The idea is that when a round of layoffs goes through, the survivors start updating their resumes, and people who are already thinking about quitting naturally become slightly more motivated to make that jump. Andrea Derler, who leads research at the workplace analytics firm Vizier, describes this whole cycle as a clear failure of workforce planning. which is the polite academic way of saying these companies keep firing people they still need. The second problem is that, especially in technical roles, a lot of doing the job well just comes down to having done the job for a long enough
like institutional knowledge.
Institutional knowledge, like which workarounds actually matter, and which cursed legacy code should never be touched, and even really basic things like who sits at what desk makes a big difference in how quickly stuff gets done. In theory, companies like to imagine that this gets captured in a handover doc. In reality, even if the laid-off workers really did want to put their all into teaching the replacement how to do their job, it still doesn't. I will get into this particular example in detail a little bit later, but Ford recently had to hire back a team of senior quality assurance engineers, charmingly referred to as the Graybeards,
you can't
address
fire
certain
the
failings in the company's production. The company had attempted to replace them with an AI system overseen by a much smaller team of more technically qualified but significantly less experienced operators. And well, credit where credit is due, the company reversed this move, acknowledging the problem that
I hope they got paid a fuck ton to get bought back. I don't know if they will, but I hope they did. It's so stupid, especially if you're building something real, something physical, and you have people that have been there forever doing it, and you're like, there's no way.
Why it was being dumb. Now, this is a problem, because when a company eventually realizes it cut too deep, getting people back usually costs a lot more than keeping them around in the first place. If a company is rehiring someone, that normally means they were a talented employee and they've usually landed somewhere else. So businesses are paying a premium on top of the recruiter fees and layoff expense to get people back who, for obvious reasons, don't necessarily want to work for companies who have a reputation for letting people go. Companies like Meta have developed such a bad reputation for morale, turnovers, and layoffs that they are—
Dude, the Meta morale is extra bad, though, not just because of the layoffs, but they were forcing Meta employees to train AI that would replace them. And they were being open about it. They were I remember one of the things that the memo that leaked or whatever, Zuck does the all hands, and he's like, the reason you guys have to do the AI training stuff is because you're smarter. We can't get this high quality data anywhere else. He thought that would make people, he thought that would win people over, but they were just furious. Of course you don't want to be taught of no, it's crazy.
Are now paying doing that a measurable premium to hire new staff, because if given a choice, people would take almost any other option for the same level of pay. More broadly, according to industry estimates, laid-off roles are now being refilled at a significant premium from what the original position paid in the first place. Some of the people they want back also just simply aren't coming back at all. Laid-off employees naturally realize that their employer doesn't and didn't really care about them. Of course, that was probably always true,
obvious.
But actually being laid off makes it a bit harder to ignore.
Damn, so
Support groups for laid-off Googlers reportedly ballooned after 2023 cuts, full of people who hadn't written resumes in 15 years because they genuinely believed they found the last job they would ever need. Now, I know there's a level of irony in these people losing their extremely highly compensated jobs, often developing the tech that replaced them.
Yeah.
Especially since, let's be honest here, a lot of them would happily automate other jobs if it meant a slightly more lucrative RSU package.
True.
But the point here is that purely from the business perspective, if layoffs were supposed to cut costs, they haven't been doing a very good job. This is also ignoring things like severance, higher unemployment insurance rates, and recruiter fees to enable the constant churn. The losses aren't random either. Stanford economist Nick Bloom pointed out that attrition driven by return-to-office mandates loses companies their best people first because the best people are the ones with outside options. What's left is mostly the people who couldn't afford to leave. Now, obviously,
this is definitely true with return to office, but I think they knew that going in. They just want to they wanted to do stealth layoffs. But yeah, if you're somebody who's so talented or connected or whatever that you could get a better offer elsewhere with work from home, then you'll just take it and you'll lose that person. Pre-watched, we just watched it. You just said that. That's post-watched.
Obviously, mandatory return to office is slightly different from layoffs, but they were done with the same intention of thinning out the workforce, hoping that people would quit instead of publicly having to reduce headcount. Now, it sounds dumb, but it gets dumber. So far, these have—
by the way, it's I covered this. This is a year ago. This is probably 2 years ago. Ladies and this is why companies hate work from home now. It's a whole thing about Amazon and this exact layoff. I did this, all right? This is, we've pre-streamed this, bro. Same pants. I'm not wearing any.
Just been the immediate costs. Entry-level hiring has collapsed by somewhere between 55 and 65% at the major tech companies since the layoff era began. IBM's head of HR, Nicolas Moreau, has been unusually blunt, warning that if you cut the pipeline, there's no succession talent in 3 to 5 years. And IBM is now tripling its entry-level hiring to patch the hole it dug for itself. And on top of all of that,
the problem is it's not a catch-22. What's the name for it? It's like a tragedy of the commons or whatever. Every company wants somebody else to train the Gen Z. Like IBM is saying they're gonna do this. If they did do it, then a bunch of Gen Z work at IBM because they're the only ones hiring. They get the experience and they immediately leave to get a better job elsewhere because they don't want to work at IBM in their fucking 30s. So nobody wants to be the person training a bunch of people in like a weird changing economy, changing AI job market. They just want to hire the experienced people.
Companies are burning the thing that made them special employers in the first place. A job at Google used to be the prize. Partly this was because of the pay, which
sign them to multi-year deals like soccer players. So what if every employee ends up being in like a fucking draft? They do like the NBA draft for coders out of college.
at the time was decent, but still inferior.
And you get a rookie
like
contract
finance,
at a company?
Mostly because it was seen as the best place in the world to work.
For accountants?
It had cool offices, interesting projects, a decent work-life balance, a vibey culture, and most importantly, good job security. If that perception dies, the smartest people can just take their talents to finance instead, which pays comparably, never pretended to love you, and is somehow now the less risky option for a high performer who doesn't want to find out from a LinkedIn notification that they no longer work there. Now, to play devil's advocate here, despite the beanbag chairs and kombucha on tap, these are still for-profit companies, not a jobs program. Even if there are costs associated with doing layoffs, and there are a lot of costs, it could be argued that endlessly accumulating staff who feel overly secure in their role would end up costing a business more, especially if all their competitors are willing to pay a premium to poach their best talent. But, well, these companies are still accumulating workers. Alphabet finished 2025 with around 190,000 employees, essentially back to its all-time peak.
Damn, that's
Microsoft
a lot.
Ended its last fiscal year with 228,000
I did not know Google
identical
had
to the year
200K
before,
employees,
despite
bro.
cutting roughly 15,000 across two
I would've
heavily
guessed,
publicized
like,
rounds. And
90
Amazon
to
is within
100 maybe.
2% of its 2021 high even after 4 years of going all in on headcount efficiency. So the workforce is right back to where it started, and since most entry-level hiring has been so slow, this pool of workers has mostly been maintained with people just moving to the next company in line. So they did all of this, accounted for
job market's so bad they put up all this bullshit. Yeah, and these are like the quote unquote good jobs. No, it's crazy right now. But I'd be skeptical of the idea that they did all these layoffs and their payroll is the same. Like if they fired people who were managers or whatever and hired people that were cheaper, or they just shuffled it around so that they could pay everybody less and then give less stock packages, that would make sense to me, but I doubt their payroll's the same.
all of these costs, accepted the human toll, took the morale and reputational hits, all to effectively just play past the parcel of employees, which raises the obvious question of why? Well, Stanford business professor Jeffrey Pfeffer has spent decades on this exact question, and his conclusion has been depressingly consistent. Layoffs repeatedly failed to cut costs or improve performance once you account for severance, morale damage, and lost productivity. The same was true for headcount trimming efforts like return-to-office mandates. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh's Katz Business School went looking for financial improvement at S&P 500 companies that imposed strict return-to-office mandates and found no significant improvement at all. Employee satisfaction, on the other hand, dropped.
Return to office has never been for efficiency. I can understand if you want like some days of the week in office, but return to office is for the benefit of managers who love the power, dude. Strict return to office, like no flexibility, is because people love either the managers that live at work and work is their life and they like the feeling of the power, or middle managers who don't actually contribute much to the fucking project and they need return to office because it's much easier to mask doing nothing by being a manager in return to office, because you can do a lot of walking around, a lot of like organizing meetings, it's way easier to hide your lack of real contribution when it's not remote. Aiden? You guys are all saying Aiden. Dude, that company's like 5 people. I mean, no, it's not. It's more, but no, I'm not saying Aiden. Someone has to play Counter-Strike at work, bro. He jumps in that sword.
Dropped measurably. Now, say what you want about the senior leadership of these companies. Most of them aren't stupid. They are capable of reading these studies and understanding the basic cost-benefit of what they are doing. But across corporate America, and particularly in tech, they are doing it anyway, for 3 simple reasons. The first is quite simply human vindictiveness. For the last decade in particular, tech workers had a little bit too much power and security, safe in the fact that nobody else could do what they do, which bred a culture very different from a
NVIDIA
standard
office! Wow, the memories.
It's safe in the fact that nobody else could do what they do.
The memories of this extremely sterile triangular alien spaceship. Just an endless layer of triangles and hexagons and completely white walls.
Which bred a culture very different from a standard corporate hierarchy. Staff pushed social agendas, spoke out against their own bosses, worked their own schedules.
They waited till you left to add the plants? You're joking, but they literally did that. There was no plants when I was there for the years I was there. And the second they left, they added a duplicate of the office across the street with plants.
And demanded recognition for their achievements. You know, a true nightmare scenario. A lot of these companies leaned into this idea when it was convenient for talent acquisition, but it has become pretty clear that the actual executives at the top of these businesses, not so secretly, despise this culture. People like Zuck may have been the CEO of one of the most powerful companies on earth, but his entitled employees didn't kiss the ground around his feet like they ought to in a more traditional company.
That's a rough
The Wall Street Journal ran what might as well be the era's mission statement as a headline: "The bosses are back in charge." Executives saw the layoff wave as a chance to put entitled workers back in their place after the leverage workers built up during the Great Resignation and the remote work boom. The commentator Ed Zitron went further in a piece bluntly titled "Tech's Elite Hates Labor," arguing that the industry resents having created a pampered class of worker that it now has to cater to and overpay. Even several prominent people within tech have been happy to say the quiet part out loud. Venture capitalist Keith Rabois said Meta and Google hired thousands of people to do fake work out of vanity, called those workers extraneous, and held up Elon Musk's Twitter purge, where roughly 80% of the company was cut, as the model the rest of the industry should copy.
People keep talking about that Twitter cut like it was like, bro, Twitter did get worse significantly. Like it did. It is worse. They act like you just cut a bunch of people and it was fine, but it's significantly, it's a worse product. Every aspect of it is worse. The moderation's worse. And revenue went down. Also, the company, people act like the company's doing fine. It's not. The only reason it's still alive is because he keeps sucking it up into larger companies. He had it bought by XAI, which he got bought by SpaceX. So it's not, they keep bailing it out, but it's still a money-losing piece of trash.
Capitalist and real-life Baron from Dune, Mark Andreessen mocked the remote laptop class. David Sachs called Twitter bloated and overstaffed. All of this meant that when mass layoffs became more commonplace across the industry, and these executives saw that their stock price wouldn't take a hit for doing it, and in many cases would actually trend upwards, a lot of them were more than happy to dive in, even if the long-term benefits would be questionable. Sure, they might have just ended up passing the same people along to the next company, but it did still send the message that nobody is irreplaceable. The HR software company Bamboo HR surveyed more than 1,500 managers and found that roughly a quarter of C-suite executives openly admitted that they hoped return-to-office mandates would get people to quit voluntarily. About 20% of HR leaders said their in-office rules were specifically designed to drive attrition, and around 40% of managers said layoffs followed because not enough people left on their own. And again, this was just what they were publicly admitting to.
I don't get it. Why are they confessing?
They're not confessing. They're bragging.
The sad part is, it kind of worked. In one survey, the share of workers who said they would quit over a mandatory return to office collapsed from 51% to just 7% in a single year.
Damn.
Again, this is just one
They
variable.
broke the back of the movement.
People have now been trained to hold on to their jobs at all cost. It's not great, But even the most vindictive CEO still needs to justify their smiting to shareholders, who don't have endless patience for workplace power politics. So it's time to learn how many works to find out how they have actually justified
Oh my
this
God,
so
that's the
far,
most egregious
and why
one yet.
It's kind of backfiring on them.
That's the most
This video is
egregious
sponsored
one
by
yet. No, that's crazy. When it feels like it's been an hour.
Spend less time doing admin or stitching tools together and more time actually meeting with even keep us tech bosses with bruise egos finally getting one up on the people who actually built their technology in the first place.
That's
is
gotta be on
nice and
purpose,
all.
bro.
But outside of their emotional support podcasts, this kind of justification isn't going to fly. Expensive and financially damaging layoffs still need to hold up to the scrutiny from shareholders. But well, if anything, they have been right on board, largely because of the equity math. A huge chunk of tech compensation is paid in restricted stock units, or RSUs. Grants of company shares that drip out to an employee over about 4 years, depending on the exact agreement. But only as long as they stick around long enough to collect them. This has been a great deal for these companies, because it allows them to pay world-class engineers world-class compensation with shares it can print rather than money it has to earn. And it also means that staff are compelled to stay with their company to actually receive shares they have technically already earned. But printing shares creates its own problem. Every RSU that eventually vests is a brand new share, and every brand new share makes...
The king of this is Snapchat, if you guys don't know. Snapchat is not a... I mean, you're not going to care either way. You're not going to be mad about this. But if you are someone who's like, I believe in Snapchat as a company, people are using it, I'm going to invest in the stock. They have designed the entire company to fleece you. Snapchat is a gigantic Ponzi scheme to get money out of shareholders' hands and into the CEO and his friends' hands. All they do is print new shares constantly to pay off employees, C-suite executives, and staff. That's the whole, they've done it like on an egregious level. And it's funny because Snapchat stock is not very high because people figure this out. But I thought Snapchat was basically dead. I'm not in the target demographic. But it turns out Snapchat is still really big. But the company makes no money. It literally just exists so he can pump shares into the hype so he can live an expensive lifestyle. Like they have designed this company in no way to build a long-term business and 100% of a way to get rich themselves. So I guess it worked for him. Evan Spiegel is living fucking large, bro.
Everyone else's slice of the company a little thinner. Shareholders are, not fans of getting thinner. Now, over the last decade, the solution to this has been stock buyback programs largely just to mop this up. The company takes real cash and buys its own shares off the open market to cancel out the new ones being minted for staff. Analysts have estimated that over the last several years, effectively all of Meta's roughly $96 billion of buybacks and around 90% of Google's $156 billion went to sterilizing the dilution from employee stock compensation. So yeah, effectively they were just paying their staff out of their retained earnings in a very roundabout way. Eventually, shareholders realized that this would all work a lot better, at least in the short term, if companies kept doing buybacks while doing less stock creation for their employees. When someone gets cut before their RSUs finish vesting, the unvested shares just disappear. They were never created, so the dilution never happens, and the company even gets to reverse the expense it had already booked.
How about
in normal
that?
times, this would mean that more of the buyback money could go to bidding up the price of stock in regular markets. But well, we are not really in normal times right now. All of the money that was going to buybacks to offset these stock bonuses is now going to data centers instead.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this is the big AI story right now, but to sum it up, if you want like a one-liner, it's like for the past 10 years, tech companies have been extremely high margin, which means they spend very little cash to get a lot of cash back. Extremely high margin, asset light businesses that could spend all of their money on stock buybacks. So of course the stocks have been doing good for 10 years. And then in the past 2 years, they have switched to, they have absolutely no cash, extremely asset heavy businesses, low margin, spending all their money on AI data centers and fucking GPUs. And they've evaporated all the fucking buybacks. So it's like a Wile E. Coyote moment, it feels like. Like the stock is still up, but all the things that made it so good are gone. all the fun, like the financial fundamentals of why these stocks were so profitable are completely evaporated, and it's kind of like carrying on a momentum.
Now, I have already spoken endlessly about this spending, so I am not going to waste your time again. But the point is that they can either spend money on stock buybacks, spend money on neutralizing RSUs, or spend money on...
Well, PC prices go down. Listen, nothing's going to make PC prices or like RAM prices go down until more supply comes online, which will be either Chinese factories like in 27 or SK Hynix and Micron and them getting more supply online like probably 27. Yeah, honestly. But China's the real one. Like once China comes online, then the market gets flooded.
On data centers. They don't have enough to do all three. Google and Meta have already started scaling back their buyback programs, and some of these companies are now issuing debt to fund data center construction, or going even further and actually issuing new shares onto public markets. For existing shareholders, this made them much more amenable to a level of employee churn to avoid employees actually collecting their stock to sell on public markets. Most of the big firms vest RSUs at a flat rate of about 25% per year.
Yep.
So if you earn $200,000 in stock compensation in a given year, you get $50,000 after the first 12 months, $50,000 12 months after that, and so on.
Yep.
But if you keep working there, those future bonuses keep stacking up. So even assuming your bonuses stay totally flat, if you quit, you are still walking away from as much as $500,000 in compensation.
That's why you see a lot of people suddenly decide they want to work on something new after exactly 4 years at a company. In tech. You'll see a lot of LinkedIn posts of like, you know, I'm really interested in exploring some new right after their exact 4-year marks because that's the fucking full vest.
That you will have theoretically already earned. And again, this is in companies that spread things evenly. Amazon's schedule is infamously backloaded at 5, 15, 40, and 40%. So an Amazon employee cut 2 years in has collected just 20% of the equity they were promised. People have started reading these schedules very carefully, for reasons that are probably obvious by now. In a culture of permanent churn, a lot of these RSUs simply never live long enough to vest. Now, if you, hypothetically, wanted to be a bit cynical, according to company financials, there are currently over $250 billion.
Yeah, but I did 5 years because I got my Jensen bonus after year 1 because of the green out. So I waited 4 years after that. I don't want to say I waited. I actually really liked that job. I just hated San Jose. I think if NVIDIA was in LA, I might have kept working there. Like it was hard doing both streaming and working, but it wasn't bad. I liked the job a lot. I could not. We were so bored up there. We had nobody, bro. It's just a bad city. It's a bad suburby, no culture, big city. Yeah. All the people also, I like my coworkers too, but all my coworkers were way older than me. Which is ironic because now I'm the old guy on Twitch. And I just like, I don't know. I felt very, very isolated. It was just me and Ari with nobody else to hang out with. And we did it for 5 years.
An outstanding stock waiting to be accessed by employees in just the top 7 tech companies alone. That's also only as of the date those bonuses were actually granted. If you get awarded 100 shares worth $50,000 and then the price doubles.
You ever think about super commuting? Yeah, somebody did that at NVIDIA. They lived in LA and they flew to the office 3 days a week. Like flew. And I would never, ever do that in a million years. Going to the airport every other day is crazy. That's just crazy. But apparently he's like, yeah, if you buy all the flights 6 months in advance, you can get them really, really cheap. And again, the flight is like, you know, it's an hour. So think of it like an hour commute. You live near an airport, you go to the airport, it's a 1 hour flight, you get there. He did it like it was a job, like it was a commute, like a drive.
Next year, before it's actually handed over to you to liquidate, you still get
one. Does NVIDIA not have full remote? They do now. This is 2019. It was right before COVID. It was office expected, in-office expected, prior to COVID. And then after COVID, they were full remote for one of the longest. And then they went back to like hybrid, I think.
100 shares. They are just now worth $100,000. Now, of course, in theory, this is a nice way to motivate staff to align them behind a stock price, but it also means that the true value of outstanding stock in coming RSUs is likely to be significantly higher than what has been expensed, because over the last 3 years, when a majority of that stock was vested, the average value of a Mag 7 company has roughly quadrupled. Realistically, that means there is something like $500 billion worth of stock that will be hitting the market over the next 2 years, coming from the employees at these companies. And that's also ignoring the stock coming from this year's slate of mega IPOs.
Yup.
That's a lot of stock hitting a market on top of a potent combination of reduced buybacks, increased capital raises, stretched valuations, and further bonuses going towards newly hired staff in the AI space. Even more simply, more money coming out of the market than going into it. Now, to be fair, these pools of unreleased stock-based compensation are still at record.
It just feels so. The best thing I could say is Wile E. Coyote. You guys know, like, this is such an old reference, I guess. Or Roadrunner. Roadrunner. You know when Roadrunner? No, Wile E. Coyote. He runs off the cliff and he keeps going, and then he looks around and realizes there's no ground underneath him. Like, do you know that? What do they call that? It's like hang time. This dude. There's a coyote time. There's a word for it in game dev. But this idea where you just run off and you don't even know the ground's gone yet, and then when you realize you fall, that's what it feels like with a lot of these valuations, man. The things that made them this valuable no longer exist. And it's just carrying on like it's still there, but it's not there. And people are slowly realizing. I mean, like, you see what happened to Tesla and SpaceX in the last fucking week, but a lot of companies are getting hit with this. The only person who's not is Apple, who looks like a fucking giga chad because they didn't invest any money into AI. Coyote frames. Yeah, exactly.
Highs, thanks to record high prices and huge AI-based pay packages. But they would be significantly higher again if they weren't continuously scraped down over the last 4 years. I know this sounds a little bit tinfoil hatty, but it's worth keeping in mind that locked up expiration and insiders looking to liquidate their winning positions was one of the key catalysts for the unwinding of the dot-com bubble. At the very least, it's not unreasonable to think that executives are considering ways to manage this ballooning obligation. Now, if all of that was a lot of boring numbers, well, that's kind of the point. Equity engineering is boring, which is why most of the headlines have been focused on the third major justification, which is the AI tools that all of these shenanigans were going to finance in the first place. AI was supposed to make the whole layoff era make sense. There are naturally a lot of headlines when a major company cuts tens of thousands of workers, but usually a lot less attention when they hire back just as many to cover over shortcomings. But people are now starting to notice, and well, it's kind of getting a little bit embarrassing. I mentioned Ford earlier because they leaned hard on AI-driven quality inspection. Now, on paper,
I think Klarna did this. They fired all their customer support for AI and then they had to hire them all back. Because, I mean, especially right now, AI customer support, it's just more frustrating than it is.
This is actually a perfect use case for
it can help. I mean, it's a helpful tool.
Because inspection work is repetitive, data-rich, and hopefully consistent. But well, to nobody's surprise, according to their chief operating officer, Kumar Galhotra, the systems were not getting the desired results, while quality failures were costing the company billions. So Ford went out and rehired roughly 350 of their veteran graybeard engineers it had let go, and put them back on the line. The CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, apparently went full founder mode and reportedly fired engineers who didn't onboard the company's AI coding tools within a week. According to their own claims, somewhere between a third and 40% of Coinbase's code is now written by AI.
Dude, what does Coinbase need all that code for?
Unfortunately, they announced this a few days before their entire
What product is Coinbase adding? They literally just make money when people trade a lot of crypto. That's it, and it's not happening. There's no, like...
went offline for several hours due to technical issues. And then just last week, literally as I was writing this video, Coinbase's AI-powered prediction market alerts pushed breaking news to millions of users announcing that Norway had beaten Brazil 3-2 in the World Cup, before the match had even kicked off. Now, putting aside the horrors of having a prediction market on top of a supposedly respectable investment platform, this is obviously not a great look. Companies mess things up all the time, but customers and even investors are a lot less forgiving of those mistakes when leadership has made a big deal about getting rid of people that were there to avoid them in the first place. More broadly, a report by Robert Half found that roughly 1 in 3 managers who cut a role citing AI has already rehired for the same or similar position. OrgView found that 55% of leaders who made AI-driven cuts now admit it was a mistake. And Gartner projects that by 2027, half of all AI-blamed layoffs will have rehired the role under a new job title.
Okay.
Forrester found roughly the same, with one extra twist. A lot of the rehires are coming from offshore at lower pay.
There's the fucking
so the
twist.
original workers still lost.
Yeah, this is like a little bit late to get to this point. This is like, these layoffs are so they can pay people overall less. That's the thing. That you take somebody who's worked at your company for 8, 10, 12 years. They've gotten a pretty good pay package. They've gotten the yearly pay raises, and you fire them and you find somebody else who can do it for way cheaper. That's the fucking trick of it. That's what they're doing en masse. And because you've done so many layoffs, people are reluctant to ask for the same pay raise as they were before. And you've kind of like broken the back of the collective people you're hiring. That's like their financial motivation more than anything else.
Of course, there was the part we already knew. According to a Resume.org survey, 59% of companies that cited AI as the reason for layoffs admitted they emphasized AI's role because it plays better with stakeholders than admitting to financial constraints. It sounds bad, but it gets worse. This whole game has created...
At least they would never collude on pay. You ever seen that the Steve Jobs email to the Adobe CEO? Back when Steve Jobs was alive, kicking and fucking colluding to pay employees less? There's an iconic email where, you know, it was part of the lawsuit that got a bunch of these big tech companies for basically soft agreeing to not go after the same people so that they don't have to compete on wages.
Almost a cult-like culture around a really strange idea, particularly in the tech industry. So go and watch this video next to find out why you are apparently going...
All right, good video. Thanks, How Many Works. Steve, no jobs. Yeah, for real, for real, for real. 5 real. Is there an update on the AI Infinite Money Glitch? Yeah, there's a massive update. It's basically that it's all come down to NVIDIA now. But I'll make something for you. I'll make something. We'll cook up on it. NVIDIA's backstopping $250 billion of NVIDIA GPU demand. Basically, if you're any company that might buy NVIDIA GPUs, NVIDIA will give you money to look healthy so that you can keep saying you're going to buy NVIDIA GPUs. I mean, it's like all kind, like they're the last super financially healthy, massive company at the heart of this. And they're funding so much demand. They're just directly funding it. And they're also backstopping. They're saying, if you build a data center and you can't rent it to anybody, we will guaranteed rent it from you. So of course you're going to buy all the GPUs you can to build a data center because you know that NVIDIA's backstopping your demand, but they're hoping they don't have to do that. It's very .com. It's very .com. Okay. Chat. I did want to talk about a plan for this week on RE some gaming. Okay? RE a little bit of gaming. I want to figure out what is a good day to play Plants vs. Zombies. Will you backstop my sub? Yeah. You sub right now, and I promise if it doesn't change your life, I will pay for your sub. But I get to decide. So, Plants vs. Zombies, I think we will do, let's do Thursday. Thursday, PVZ. We'll do Thursday, PVZ. Let's try to do Wednesday, the Prez on SpaceX and Tesla. Let's try to do that. And when is, I'm running out of time for my fucking month of not working on slides, but I do want to make that one. LeBron talk? Listen, I don't know what to say about LeBron. The thing about Braun is, here's the debate I want to ask with chat. This is my honest LeBron talk debate. If LeBron, this is the debate I was having at the basketball court on Sunday. And this, I'll tell you what I think afterwards. If LeBron goes to Philly and wins, is he the undisputed GOAT? Is it over? My answer is he's already the GOAT, but I think it's undisputed if he wins in Philly. That's what I think. He's my GOAT, but I know it's a pretty 1A, 1B situation. I think if he gets one more ring at 40-2 in Philly, he's the GOAT undisputed. That's what I think. That's my take on it. I think it's cool he went to Philly. I think that was unexpected. I thought for sure it was going to be the Cavs. I didn't know shit. I thought it was the Cavs for sure. But here's what I'll say. If he goes to Philly and he doesn't win, let's say it's not even good. Let's say they don't even have a deep playoff run. Then it's kind of like weird, right? You don't get a good documentary because it's not the Cavs or Miami. And you don't get a good seat. Well, it's just kind of sad. It's kind of a sad way to end. So it's a kind of a high risk, high reward situation. Don't count. He's 41. He's going to be 42, bro. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what. It's like, you don't ever want to see LeBron be totally washed out there. He was good in this last season with the Lakers. He was good. He carried us in a playoff series. But I think if he went to the Cavs and they lost, it would still be fun. It would be like a cinematic ending. But going to Philly feels kind of random unless he does really well. So, the only other thing he could do is he could go play baseball for exactly as long as Jordan did, and if he does better than him at that, that would also make the GOAT status undisputed. If he gets a higher RBI than Jordan got in his years. Are you done with Hitman? No, actually. I'm not done with Hitman. We got Hitman Horse coming out tonight, I think. Okay, chat. I think I might have to go. I have to finish this Hitman Horse video. I'm sorry, I have to finish the Hitman Horse thumbnail, upload it, and I have a call at 6:30. So, chat, good seeing you. 07s, fun. There's going to be Hitman Horse in your inbox tonight on YouTube. It should be really good. It's really well edited. Then Joe cooked. Sevens, thanks for watching. I'll see you Wednesday, but also maybe tomorrow. Actually, oh, wait. What if we lock in the Pokemon movie tomorrow? Because tomorrow I cannot stream for any real time. I have to do the podcast. But if I just come back and all I have to do is Pokemon movie, that could be fun and it would knock it out, and I'd like to do it anyway. Maybe we do that. Okay, so Pokemon movie tomorrow night. It'll be a nighttime, like a 7:30 Pacific type beat. And let's rate somebody. That sounds good. Okay, Pokemon movie tomorrow, tonight, after this podcast. That sounds fucking good. And I'm going to raid. Who am I going to raid? Connor is watching Bratz the movie. Let's raid Peter Park. He's my partner in, let's raid Peter Park. Peter Park. Well, you can go watch Peter Parker, maybe. Spider-Man, bro. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Or, yeah, see you tomorrow for the movie. Bye.